Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Happy Saturday. We are Hard Knock Dice. My name is Jonesy. I will be your dungeon master for this evening, and these people around me are your heroes for the evening and my best friends. We're going to be continuing on our Across Eberron campaign today, but before we do, the announcements that we make all the time for good reason. This thermometer right down here below me, we are currently raising money for Extra Life, which raises money for children's hospitals across the United States, and I think Canada as well, but no, the United States. Specifically, we're raising money for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. And so, yeah, we're going to be giving away some things. Thank you, Hydra, for posting that link in there. You can click on there and go donate some money, open up your hearts and your wallets to a great cause. We're going to be giving away some things at $1,500, a digital copy of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. At $2,500, we're going to be giving away a SteelSeries gaming mouse. And at $3,500, we're going to be giving away a SteelSeries gaming keyboard. So please go check that out. And yeah. So I think that's it. Anybody else got anything cool or useful for the group? Nope. I forgot to turn off my dehumidifier. There we go. So let's hop into our recap for last week. Last we left our heroes, they made their way to Moonwatch, but not before several important conversations were had, including Artyom informing his longtime Parasaur companion Bill about who he really was. Gandwin and Milo explored the strange language of the Dalkir, and Milo's mother, Audrey Goggins, laid new boundaries for her relationship with her husband and Milo's father, Everett. Kaushik pondered back on a vision that she was given as a part of a Blood of Vol rite, and Nichols gave a little bit of insight into the city of Moonwatch, a simple town, but it's known for its views of night skies and being under the revolution of each one of Eberron's 12 moons. The party met a green adventuring party being led by a Jeremiah Harper, the nephew of Lucas, the Templar of Law in Flamekeep. The party decided to test the fresh adventurers' might before they set out to Ringbriar to fight some bandits. And with a rather abrupt ending from Kaushik proving a point, the adventurers did okay ultimately. We pick back up with the party saying a brief goodbye to the fresh adventurers on the cliffside just below the Moonwatch Observatory. So, what would you guys like to do? It is around just after breakfast time, so we're looking at 10 or 11 a.m. You're on the cliffside just below the Moonwatch Observatory, where Nichols has invited you later on this evening to join him in looking at the night sky. However, you still have the rest of the day in the small town of Moonwatch. So, what would you like to do?
Let's go find another group of youths to harass.
Another group
Let's
of
go
youths.
bully more children.
Yeah, let's go bully more kids.
Milo's probably gonna
Fuck
go
them kids.
check on Kaushik as quickly as he can hobble.
Takes you a minute. Where's Kaushik going, actually? Because she did storm away from the group.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was headed back to my room, but after Madison stopped me and I waved off the kids, I'm gonna swallow my pride and go back to walk slowly back to the squad.
Yeah,
If they're still around the bean area.
go ahead and bite your pride too. But yeah, they're
Bite my pride, swallow my tongue.
they are. Okay.
I think those things are mutually exclusive.
you see the rest of the group start heading down to the I say the rest of the group. You see the rest of these young adventurers heading back to the Moonbeam and Brew, seemingly to pack up their things and leave. But you turn heel and turn back to the group, who's, I would guess, just sort of like wondering what has happened amongst the last few seconds, as Kaushik is damn near killed one of these young adventurers. Now, I would just like to say, just by watching Kaushik do this, you grabbed the girl's face, and the girl looked like the very life was being sucked out of her as she collapsed. So, Kaushik turns heel, makes her way back up to the group of adventurers. It's on you guys.
I am not being mobile at the moment. It's like, Well, that's a thing that happened. I'm just gonna sit out here for a few minutes more because everything still hurts.
Yeah, just hobbling my way toward her. All right, did you say you're heading up to your room or just into like the common area of the?
Back to you guys. I turned around.
Oh, okay.
To the squad.
But as well as he could, kind of intercepted her halfway.
Sure.
Hey, you okay? That was kind of intense.
It's fine. She's fine. Everything's alright.
I'm not asking about her, I'm asking about you.
I'm fine as well. I was just trying to prove a point. That's all.
She will get the big side eye and curt nod.
Right. Well,
Shoulder pat. Hobble
Shoulder-
back over towards
Shoulder
Uber.
pat him as he's hobbling back.
Strength saving throw.
Poke him in the wound.
You guys
I'm
make
gonna clasp onto his shoulder and start draining the life out of him.
Oh no.
Wait.
You won't get much.
Aww.
He's not wrong.
1d4.
You guys are on the cliffside right now, and the town of Moonwatch is yours. There's not much to do around here other than the observatory, which is pretty much all but useless in the daytime. However, if there are supplies or anything else that you would like to gather up during the day, if not, we can go ahead and fast forward to tonight.
Telling me nobody uses that big telescope to, like, see anything about the sun? It sounds like a wasted opportunity.
Get the big side eye from Milo, like,
not the
Same.
best idea.
I feel like we should know.
Do you
if
want to
they
go?
would look-
Do you want to look at the sun? We can arrange that.
I mean, I am no scientist. I'm just saying. It seems like the smart types would like if they want to know so much about like the moon and those things, why would they not want to know more about that thing? It is all in the sky.
That's
I
the
feel like they are all
for
related.
you.
You're telling me they can't make it like not hurt them that they were smart. Duh. Whatever. Nobody has satisfying answers around here.
Kashik is just staring in disbelief, wondering how has this man made it this far.
I ask simple questions. Whatever. Let's I guess we'll only look at the moon. That is fine. Acceptable, I guess. And I actually do have things I wanted to buy. I keep forgetting. I would like if there's somewhere I could, I would like to buy 3 daggers.
Yeah. Simple enough.
Gotta
Don't
replace.
fit knives after what I just heard.
I gotta replace those lots.
Simple enough.
Fantastic.
It'll just be at book cost. Easy enough.
Perfecto. That's all I needed.
All right.
If I'm remembering correctly, me and Artyom have already explored the jeweler section of this town. Is that correct?
You did.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. There's nothing in particular that I want to go shopping for, but I know it's like a relatively small town, right? Maybe I'll just go
Smallish.
explore the market area. That sounds fun.
Okay.
I was thinking about exploring the shopping here. Would anybody like to join me?
Sure. I was downtown a little bit earlier.
Sure.
Nothing better to do while we wait for Nilbo to show up.
Yeah.
But why? What about his name it is that tickles my funny bone, but it does.
Do you know where your funny bone is located, Gandalf?
Probably somewhere within my body, I don't know. Wherever it makes me chuckle.
That's a pretty good guess.
Yeah, I know. That's where all the other bones are, so it's a pretty solid shot of being correct.
I'm gonna start walking away as this conversation is going on.
You guys make your way down into a market. It is nothing spectacular. There are some like the town has a theme, so there's a lot of like moon opals and lunar themed items. But other than that, it's fairly mundane. It has a general store for you and a typical armor made with mundane, some weapons and armor and what have you. But yeah, there's nothing too special around here. It's a relatively small town. The only real like unique factor is definitely the observatory up on the cliff.
Fantastic.
Are there any like? Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say I will probably hang back while they're all doing that, and I guess for the first time in like over a few centuries, I will do my morning meditations, like real meditations. And
Just a few
have some-
centuries.
yeah, just a few centuries.
Very well. Where are you doing this at?
Overlooking the cliff that we were all at.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Is anybody looking for anything in the market?
Yeah, it seems like a touristy place, right? Are there any like gift shop type things where they have trinkets and things?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'd like to explore one of those shops.
Yeah.
Can you give me descriptors of things I would find?
Sure. We got like moon t-shirts, and we got we got like
They got moon rocks here.
I heart the moon.
they don't have any moon rocks, it seems, or none that would fool Kashik on a brief inspection. They do have things like glow in the dark stones that are just like moonstones, tiny little trinkets and stuff like that. They have like moon opals that are a little bit better, that are just made into different types of jewelry, bracelets and the like. They have like smaller telescopes, stuff like that, and some like star charts and what have you. It seems to make up about what they got.
Julian will actually buy a bracelet of
Oh.
glowy stone.
Oh, will he?
Or not Julian, Milo. Good
Dear
grief.
God. Dual
My
campaign.
goodness.
Jumps out of the water.
Campaign.
That man traveled pretty far.
I almost did that when we first started too. I was gonna be like, Julian goes after Kashik. Wait, no.
Does that mean that I get to DM for Julian in the Eberron? Like, all right, this is
no.
what you find.
Julian's going to be somewhat outmatched here, but Milo goes and gets a bracelet with no problem. What sort of bracelet are you looking for, or anything in
You
particular?
said they had like glowy stones,
Yeah.
something more like feminine with one of the glowy rocks in it.
Okay, yeah, no problem. It ends up not being too much. This stone seems to be somewhat plentiful, at least around here. So they charge you like 5 silver for it.
You'll get something with silver worked into it.
Okay, you spend a little bit more money. Say it's about 2 gold.
That
Anything else?
I actually changed my mind. As we're wandering around here, just kind of going from place to place, looking at like the like jewelry shop or whatever, and like the the tourist goods, it's gonna occur to Gandalf that they might have some fun wood carving stuff around here. So I'm gonna find somewhere that might have like a wood carving thing and like see if I can get some like smaller block, like travel size blocks of some like stuff that isn't like pine trees and some some more unique blocks of wood.
Yeah, I'd say that there's a local woodworking shop that you can spend how much ever you're really looking for, with a couple of not really unique woods or anything to work with, but
like
just a couple
nicer,
of different,
like some cherry wood, like
Yeah.
poplar, and like things that aren't, like I said, just like random ass forest
right
wood.
woodworking wood, like good
Right.
good looking stuff. Yeah, absolutely. With yeah, without an issue. I mean, he gets these things imported in. You go in his shop. He's got lots of like carved wood trinkets and stuff himself that he builds and makes. Chiseled out some larger creatures and whatnot. That just look like he has an owl on one of them that's been carved out of a nice piece of wood. But yeah, without an issue, he'll provide what you're looking for. I don't know how much you're looking for.
Just like some stuff to tide me over. So probably like I would assume a couple gold would get me a solid chunk of.
A couple of gold get you a
plenty.
lot of wood.
Right. So I'd say like enough that I could like just have a few bits and pieces within my bag to just dick around with as I so choose.
We'll say a couple of silver will probably get you
Perfect.
enough to tinker with, and nice ones. So
awesome.
And gives you some like lacquer and polishes and stuff for finish and whatnot with that.
Nice. That'll do it for me.
All right. Melgrim would like to, just peruse the necklaces and something emeraldy, pretty, maybe a little bit of gold worked in it.
Sure. Yeah.
And if they're like touristy beer steins or something like that, get like 4 of those.
100%. There's always a touristy beer stein.
All right, word.
You said, and you get a couple of them that says I've been to Moonwatch or something like that, and you get a rather nice necklace with some of this opalite looking stone sort of carved into it. All right.
How much do you say?
And say all together with the necklace and the steins, it costs you about 8 silver.
All right.
They're not looking to rip people off. They are looking to get their name out there. Attract people to the observatory.
Very kind.
All right. Anything else during the day?
Probably after a while. You said that there wasn't really any farming in this area, right?
I mean, there's a little bit going on, like much further down the cliff that they have stuff shipping in, but it's like rural and a couple of miles out. But I'll say from this higher vantage point, you can see a couple of farms out there that probably supply the city.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably wild shape and slowly flippy flap out there and just kind of plop down in the middle of whoever owns this place, completely uninvited, and start using the ritual casting of plant growth.
Okay. You're just trying to bolster all the plants.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. No one disturbs you, actually. It seems like you've landed in a fairly empty patch of wherever you are, so you just land down and start casting plant growth and whatnot. No one ends up disturbing you.
Word.
All right.
Would there happen to be a mailing outpost or anything of some kind? Within Moonwatch?
Yeah, we've already said Melgrim has sent a letter out.
That's right.
And
That's right.
But yeah, there's an Orient post here. Yeah.
Could I get a ballpark estimate of how much it would cost to ship a coffin to the Kavka's dockside inn in Virgin Sly, Karnath?
Sure. You go in and it's an older man sort of handling sorts of posts. He says, well, we don't typically do big stuff like this, and when we do, it'll be custom. We'll have to pay a courier to ride, boat it up that way. It'll be fairly expensive. Where'd you say we was going to now?
He's going to going up to an inn in Virgin Sly, Karnath. In Karnath.
Okay. Well, I'd probably have to talk to a few folks because I'm not exactly sure what that is. But
Sure.
let me go down to the docks later on. We have things coming in all the time, so I can talk to one of them and probably get you some information. Probably by tomorrow morning at the latest. If that's
It should be fine.
okay.
Wonderful. I will come back then.
Yeah,
And if
just
you
meet
know
me.
before then, they should be somewhere around the Moonbeam and Brew.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know it well. Should be here bright and early though, so I'll be
Fantastic.
waiting on you to come by.
All right. Thank you.
Of course.
Once we get back from the marketplace, I'd like to excuse myself to an area where I can whip out my phone and send a text message real quick.
Yeah, you got your personal room, so
Okay. I'd like to contact Lydia because I've been meaning to. I told her to keep in touch. I've been meaning to keep in touch with her. Lydia, we hope you and your mother are doing well. We miss you dearly. How are things going? I'm speaking on behalf of the whole group, obviously.
right. You get back after just a few seconds, and you say, "Hi, Koshik. Mother is well. I am great. She's teaching more kids like me now. We're making a home. It's great to hear from you." That's 25 exactly.
I'm going to respond one more time and just say, that's so good to hear. I'm so happy you're doing well. I promise I'll contact you more often. Love you. That's it.
Of course. How is everyone? Thank you for messaging me. It's great. It's really great to hear from you. Love you too.
This girl, stop making me use my spell slow.
You messaged a kid. Like kids don't talk a lot.
We're all doing all right. Went through a lot recently, but we're recovering well. I have to go now, but I'll be in touch.
Okay. What'd you go through? Is everyone okay? I know you guys are busy. It's okay. I miss everyone very much. And I still use... Wait. Shit. I miss everyone very much, and it cuts out right there.
Shit came through.
Shit, she did not say shit. That was me.
Sure. I'd be perfect. Oh, such a good influence on this show. Shit.
I told her I had to go, so I'm not responding again.
That's fine.
She understands.
Very happy
This
to hear
kid
from
just-
you.
This kid just randomly has a Slavic accent for all of her curse words.
Shit. That's it.
Make an insight check for me, Koshik.
$21. 12 plus 9.
Very
I love
nice.
having a +9 to a good amount of my rolls.
Listening to Lydia's voice, it sounds like that there's a lot less stress in her life at the moment. And she's was very happy to hear from you. But it does sound like things are maybe not perfect, but definitely getting better. So
I couldn't imagine things would be perfect at this point for her, so I'm happy just to hear that things are getting better. To feel that things are getting better.
right. Anyone else? All right.
Not for the day.
Then
Actually, sorry.
no, go for it.
I hate to drag this on
no,
and
that is
on.
what this time is for.
Since we went shopping together and I saw that Gandalf bought like wood or whatever, can I approach him and ask him a question?
100%.
Nope.
What's all this
Nah.
for, Gandalf?
What? There's like, huh? For carving. Like make like figures or something. Something to do
You would carve.
sometimes.
When did you pick that up?
Probably at some point. Some point or sometime while I was on the Chiron front during the war. Something to do.
Also, it's been a while. Are you any good?
Oh wait, no, I don't. Shit, I don't have the little carving ability anymore. I left that with her name, with Matilda, I think.
Did you leave it
okay.
with her?
I thought so. I thought I gave it to somebody as like a here you go, keep this to remember us by.
I don't remember.
I think so. I'm pretty sure I remember giving it away to somebody. It may not have been Matilda.
I thought you gave it to Artyom, though.
Did I give it
I
to
don't know.
Archie might have it. I can't recall.
You gave me a bill carving, I'm pretty sure.
Ah, there you go. So I don't have it to show you, but I'm okay. I think.
I don't put it in my room, so you've probably seen it like just sitting in the garden on the front of the
There's a
airship.
little wooden bill just hanging
Little wooden
out.
bill.
It's like a garden gnome, but it's a garden
Yeah.
bill.
Garden bill. I need to put little like angry eyebrows on it to scare the actual bill away from eating
You
the
have
plant.
to carve vest and a vest onto it.
God,
Yeah.
this is
Oh,
his
man.
dark. This is his dark
Yeah.
bill. This is dark bill. This.
You're gonna have to carve a little koshik and put it right in front of the garden to remind Bill.
But
Yeah, no, I think I'm all right, but
do you think I could commission something from you?
I don't know what that word means.
Could you carve something for me and I pay you for it?
Well, I won't say no to money. I am perfectly happy to just carve something. Sure,
I couldn't let you do that without payment.
you are much kinder than most people. Sure, do you want?
You've seen my cat, right, Haru?
The one that blew up.
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember.
The one in the same. Do you think that you could carve a figure of Haru for me? Just a cat in general.
Hey, yeah. Sure.
How much would you like for it?
I have never sold anything I've created in my life, so I don't know. Anything you are willing to give me.
I'm gonna sorry, I don't know if you heard him when I hit my microphone button. I'm going to reach into my little coin pouch. I'm gonna give him 2 gold. Is that
Oh shit.
enough?
Are you wanting like big figure or like little figure or like what are we talking here?
Palm sized.
Palm size, like little one. Okay. And Haru's black and white, right?
No.
Or is he just black?
No.
I can't remember what colors
Haru
Haru is.
is a chimera cat. Half of him is black. the other
Chimera?
half is Yeah. Well, that's what the color scheme is called as well. Yeah, half of him is black, the other half is tortoise shell.
Okay.
And then one of his eyes is green and one of them's blue. So black side's green, the other side's blue. You don't have to do the colors if you don't want to, but you're a good painter, so.
I paint some too, yeah. I'm like, hey, fuck it, why not? They can still paint around here. Hey!
Once it comes time to paint, if you'd like, I can summon Haru so you can have the subject to look at.
Sure. Hey, Wood guy, they still paint around here?
Oi, what?
You got anybody who sells paints?
Yeah, I got some paints.
You got paints?
I have paint.
All right. I'm gonna browse his paints and get the colors I would require to paint Haru.
He sells you some paints.
Fantastic.
At the end of the day, the painting is kind of irrelevant. I plan to give it to Lydia, but
Sure. I guess that's fair, but why not?
You let him buy the paint.
Yeah, I've already got the veil. Like, well, I haven't. I already got it now. So.
How did you not already have paint if you're out here painting battle beans?
I have some paint, but this is like specific colors.
You're right. That's why I gave you so much gold.
Big brain.
Yeah, they pay you for your time and the supplies.
Yeah. So, yeah. Buy a little bit of extra paint. Make sure I got the colors I need.
I want to make a painting show with Gandalin. You think you'll let me monetize that real quick?
Give me a little brush. So we are going to paint this fucking tree, a bastard friend. This fucker tree will have bastard tree as his buddy.
All right. Anything else for the day? I would just like to say,
Look at all those moons.
with Gandalin picking up wood carving on the Chiron front, the thought that he has probably used warforged parts to carve wood that's probably pretty high. But anyways,
Ultimate way to disrespect enemy.
no one has anything else to do throughout the day. You do notice that and sort of lunchtime comes around, you guys go back to the Moonbeam and brew, hang out. Erish is still sort of in the midst of his books. Audrey and Everett Goggins. Audrey's still sort of hovering around Milo a bit more. Everett himself sitting with the group at the very least, not sort of sulking off in a corner, but still very standoffish for the most part, not really speaking. And when eye contact comes like between him and Gorham or anybody else that has threatened him severely, immediately tries to break that eye contact. You see Nichols ends up coming by the table. The fresh adventurers still in the tavern getting some lunch, it seems, finishing on packing up some supplies. He says, I heard there's supposed to be a full moon tonight. At least one of them is, so we should get a pretty good view. Should light up the sky pretty nicely, so I'm real excited about it. I'm excited to hang out with you folks a little bit more. But this will be my last night here. We're gonna be traveling right back across the river to Sharn again, so it'll be a good farewell, I think. But
It sounds lovely. I'm so excited.
as am I. You folks have been quite friendly. I would like to say that your boxes are still in the cart out back, but that's no problem. They can sit there in the cart. I don't think it's going to be going anywhere. There was a mighty mean looking boar back there, as well as a robot bird. So,
And be careful about that boar. I hear it eats people sometimes.
that would not surprise me. That sumbitch is as big as the cart.
Sometimes he doesn't like it when you like talk funny. I think some of the people he gored kind of talked like you a little bit, so I'd be very careful.
Gandalin, stop.
Oh shit. I froze. Of course I froze.
Yeah.
I
Oh, there he
froze.
is.
I'm back. He stares at you for a second after you said it. He goes, oh shit. Well,
Yep.
I won't
I'd be
be
very careful.
not a problem. I just won't swing back by there.
I don't know where he picked that up from, but who knows?
Well, I'm looking forward to it. So, I would like everybody just well, actually, let me get passive perceptions from everybody.
20.
What's
20.
the difference?
When you're just not sort of actively looking for anything. So it's 10 plus your proficiency plus your
Yeah, it's 10
Perception
plus your
bonus.
bonus to perception.
right.
That'll be
19.
19,
Fat 16.
19, 16,
19.
There's a
19,
lot of
11.
19s in here. Hey!
11.
Gorm holding it down, baby.
What's Artium's?
It's 19, but I'm still cultivating the land.
That's
How
fair.
long does that take?
8 hours.
8
I'll be
hours.
back
Holy
at
shit.
dusk.
Has anybody seen Artyom? He just fucking die again?
He's just
Not within
fucking
11.
die
Oh.
again. Damn.
I think I saw him cultivating some land. No, I'm just kidding.
You just hear
Is that what they call it nowadays?
voice from outside that says, "Yeah, he flew off not too long ago."
Holy shit. Oh! Awesome. Thank you, Bill.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
Okay. Alright, he is not dead.
Hey, you, get me a bottle.
Who's talking to?
I'll go get Bill.
Whoever answers.
Fucking Bill.
Okay, you're
We
gonna go
gotta
get Bill a bottle.
We gotta get Bill some class
Yeah.
levels.
Okay,
I'll get him a bottle.
he takes
Bring
it,
to him.
shoves it into his pocket. You got another one?
Ew.
No,
Are you
gotta get
stockpiling
the
or
liquid.
something?
AA
like
meeting.
you're stockpiling or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Does he have? Are these like? How big are his pockets? Can you like see the bottles in the
Alright.
pockets?
They're pretty big. They're pretty big pockets because he's a pretty big dinosaur. But
Yeah. Only like if it's like a whole ass like bottle, like a wine bottle or something like I guess it depends on the size of the bottle.
Right. I will say with those passives, Crowley, Koshik, and Gandalin, the fresh adventurers still off to the side eating their lunch. On the mention of the full moon, Madison snaps her eyes up to Nichols, seemingly eavesdropping on your conversation. And then sort of you tune out to Nichols, who continues on talking to the rest of the group. And Madison just sort of turns ahead to the rest of the group. Probably best that we just head out in the morning. I would say get a bright and early start. We don't need to head out at night. And Jeremiah just a bit confused.
What time of day is it right now?
It's about noon, a little after the fact. It's lunchtime. And so probably just best. Jeremiah says, well, we need to get there as soon as possible. Listen, I'm not going to argue about it. Let's head out in the morning.
Can I like insight check her from across the room?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm saying that you saw this and heard this
Yeah,
with your high
okay.
passives. So if you want to insight check her, go for it.
Oof. 15.
15.
I would also like to insight check her.
Go for it.
Insight. Mine's 15 plus 9.
There we go.
So 24.
24, yeah.
Ganwin, it seems like she's just persistent right now. And as Jeremiah has been, and if you ask Madison, she will say that Jeremiah is the leader of this group. Madison obviously has a lot of sway on what this party does. Koshik, she's worried about something. And you can tell very clearly that it was related to what Nichols was talking about. And Crowley,
Alright.
Crowley, you obviously hear this as well. Hear and see it as well. But yeah, Nichols just keeps on talking to the rest of the group. So yeah, I won't be messing with the boar anymore. But
It's very wise.
whew, someone should have told me that thing was on the boat with me.
I don't know.
We'll be seeing y'all tonight. I'm gonna go look around. I saw some mighty fine T-shirts out there that I was took a liking to. So
Oh yeah, I saw. I make good impression on people like when you're like elsewhere.
100%.
Make them think you're very worldly.
Ashik is staring daggers at Gandolin right now.
Orm is just kind of laughing.
Nobody's gonna stop me. Oh, yep. Well, we will see you later.
Nichols fixes his shirt, heads out the front door after eating the lunch, and we'll fast forward throughout the day until later that night. Artyom gets about dusk flying in after a long day of help. These fields are now just lush. Probably a good thing, because you think this is probably going to be the last thing before, or the last few like weeks probably of anything that's going to be harvestable, if that's a word. So yeah,
It doubles their harvest for a year.
Holy shit!
Well, these fields are overgrown, and some people are going to be very confused in the coming days.
There should be no world hunger in the fucking in D&D. Jesus Christ!
It's a mile radius when you do it in that manner as well.
What
So
level
it's
is
just
the spell?
3rd level. 8 hours.
Yeah, Eberron is widespread magic, but not high level magic. So while there are some people that can do druidcraft and stuff like that, this is a little bit beyond a lot of people's capabilities. But you have supplied Moonwatch and probably several other neighboring towns fill their coffers for the next, as far as food goes, for the next couple of years.
So kind.
But you end up flying back, meeting your party back at the Moonbeam and Brew, everybody gathering up for the night. Nichols donning his freshly bought Moonwatch t-shirt, as well as like a glow-in-the-dark necklace that he's wearing. Coming up to the group. Well, everybody ready?
Nichols, you look so sharp. I love it. Let's go.
He takes off his little hat and like bowling hands, says, "Thank you, ma'am." Tips it to you.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
I will quickly steal some fruit from wherever possible and eat the shit out of it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the bar has several things on tables and whatnot, but yeah, with ease, you have some food available to you, and that you can scarf down and grab some.
Grab somebody's basket of leftover like fried pickles.
I was gonna say he just picked up like a whole basket of bread rolls. He's got like a whole...
We got to get a
Pretty much
T-shirt
something
that
like
says "Moonwatch Fried Pickles."
If you do the pickle spears, they're kind of moon shaped.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, it's all about the branding.
It probably would be something like, I will just leave a gold and take something right there. Like, hey, I'm taking. Yeah, no, all right, bye.
As you guys are getting up to leave, Jeremiah comes up to the group. He says, I don't mean to I feel like keep bothering you, and I don't want to be. But we're actually going to be staying one more night. So,
Really?
yeah. Would you guys be okay if we? Yeah, I guess so. Would you guys be okay if we joined you?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Mom.
And he sort of like waves over everybody. 19. That's the same 3 plus Artyom. You guys are gathering up, getting ready. The group joins you. Agariel, Soul, Madison even walking over to the group. But as you guys are sort of walking out, Madison does slink back, hold off for a moment, like just a couple paces behind the group. Keeps falling back a little bit, and then darts down beside a house, out of sight.
Totally gonna follow. I'm like, hey, I gotta take a leak real quick. I'll be right there, and just step off.
Okay. Nick says, "Well, we'll be up at the observatory. Can't
Yep.
miss it."
Hard to miss. Yep, I'll be right there.
Hey, Gandolin.
Yep.
Hey, I'll just toss him a rat.
No look, catch. Shove him in my pocket.
Pocket
I'm
rat.
most definitely gonna be trying to sneak this follower.
Okay. Kaushik, well, Artyom and Gandolin have said that. Kaushik and Crowley, you've also seen this if you'd like to do anything or act on it at all. Up to you.
I feel like it'll take too much due attention away from the group. If Gandolin's trying to be sneaky about it, I'm just gonna vibe.
Okay. Crowley. Just gonna let Gandolin do his thing.
I'm just gonna watch passively.
Actually, I
If
do
you
want
will.
to, if I can motion to Artyom and be like, to see if that'll give him the signal to cast his everybody can talk to each other in their heads spell.
What are you saying? That takes 10 minutes to cast.
Okay, that's fine.
Does anybody want a pickle? We can sit there and eat them for 10 minutes. It might be nice.
You still got some pickles?
Yeah, would you like to have a pickle?
Oh.
You know, you... Here.
Pickle for Nick!
I was thinking, Brittany. That's awesome. Oh, that's good.
Gandolin, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
That's a 29.
All right.
Bet.
16 plus 13.
Very well. So we'll handle this in two different waves. Are you guys sitting around and having a pickle with Nichols while casting Rary's telepathic bond?
Milo still has no idea what's going on, so he's just sitting there eating a pickle, watching all this. Like, the fuck is going on?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll ask Kaushik mentally, do you want me to cast the spell or not? I won't be able to talk to Gandolin because he's not here doing it. So, if that's the purpose, this isn't going to function.
Oh, no then. I'm sorry, it was the way I listened to how it was cast. Just as long as you stay in contact with Gandolin, everything should be fine.
He'll bear it with him. If something happens, he knows the morbid drill.
I've got a rat. I've got a rat. Hey.
All right,
Can
so
I have another pickle?
Milo's just watching people looking at each other but not saying anything and just eating a pickle like,
This basket is like
So what's up,
packed with
guys?
pickles. There's so many pickles in this
That's their
basket.
specialty. Their
I
specialty is
probably
the
just
pickles.
stole a basket that was like meant to be sent to the observatory anyway, or something like that. Like it was a catered basket.
Oh no!
It's fine. We're going to the observatory. We're
Ah.
going to the observatory. We're going to absorb the moon.
oh no, not the observatory.
Perfect.
Kind of absorb the move.
all right.
Absorb moons.
So we'll handle the moon group first, and then we'll hop over to Gandolin if everybody's okay with that.
Moon group.
So the moon group and Nichols Pickles head up to the observatory. There is a you guys noticed that the Moonbeam Brew last night was quite packed. It seems like a lot of those people are here as well at the observatory. It's quite lively this time of night. Somewhat surprisingly, as a lot of small towns shut down after dark, but this is a little bit of change of pace. On the observatory, it's a fairly large tower, probably 4 or 5 stories tall. And you see on the top of it a sort of dome-shaped top, several different protruding objects just out sort of the top. You'd think these to be large telescopes of some sort. As you guys enter, there is a woman there greeting everyone. This sort of lithe elven woman, with just sort of stark white hair, draped down to next to like her calves, almost just in like black robes, just welcoming everybody and come on in. Hello, it's very nice to just very elfly about it. Very what's the word I'm looking for?
Elegant.
Elegant. There we go.
Ethereal.
Ethereal. She turns into a ghost.
Not the literal
Get her!
status of ethereal.
It's a fucking ghost.
Welcoming everybody in. You guys are greeted first with sort of what looks to be like in this round structure around you. What looks first to be a like an information wall. It's a fairly empty open space, and you go and you look up, and there's just these like brass stairs leading up to different levels within the observatory itself. The top of the observatory looking like where the telescopes come down into. And you see several people occupying different levels, just sort of walking around. It is very touristy right now. There's just a lot of different stuff. This first one talks about the philosophy behind astrology and astronomy, different things like that. And it's very like paintings on the walls, that like paintings of different constellations in Eberron and different moons and stuff like that. I saw a hand go up though.
Yeah, is this place big enough for Bill to fit into?
It's big, but Bill would probably not fit comfortably in here.
Somebody cast an
I'll
produce
ask
on
him
him.
if he wants to come inside.
They got the booze in there?
I mean, you have booze in your pocket, so if you go in there, they'll have booze in there.
No, I don't. What are you talking about?
I can see it sticking out of your pocket. Unless you have some sort of bottle-shaped growth coming out of your body that you need me to check on.
It's all me, baby.
I'll just
Do you
kind of
want
lean
to-
in.
I'll
Our
just
side.
hang out here. I'll just get
Okay.
drunk and look at moon from here.
I will start to turn to go in, and then on the opposite side from where the bottle's at, I'll just give him like a forceful, because he has really thick skin, but just like a shocking like tickle grab thing to where like this not part of your body. And just mess with him, throw him off guard.
It's totally me. Get me another one if there's more in there.
I'm going to be honest with you. If they have booze in here, we're probably going to be in here for a very long time.
Okay. You finish having your conversation with Bill. Bill pulls out, sits down on the cliff, and is just start like gulping it down. And just chilling on the cliffside. It's a nice night out and very, very clear. Sort of like waves crashing up against the cliff below, filling your. It's very calm tonight. Speaking of, let me switch it to the night on here. There we go. Less birds, please. Thank you. As you guys walk in here, and they in fact are selling it. They're not selling booze, but like as they sell tickets to you guys. If you want to subtract, we'll say 4 gold overall for the entire group. For the entire group to come in here. But they do come around, and this includes like it's like those I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, like the nights at the zoo or nights at the aquarium events that they do where you like walk around and they serve you booze and stuff like that for the night. But that's kind of what this is. So they're like selling like martinis and stuff like that, just bringing them around, different sort of lunar and astrology themed drinks and stuff like that. So
That's so cute. Moon juice.
moon juice, yes.
Food booze.
Shoot.
Slightly glowing. That'd be awesome.
You guys really quickly and help me out. Roleplay amongst yourselves real quick.
So, is there like a tab going for all those drinks, or do you just have to? Is it the cover fee? Can we just grab those drinks?
I think it's complimentary.
They are on the house, sir.
Yeah, they're going to be in my belly then.
Oh no. Oh no.
How
You
big is
made a
the platter that he
mistake.
has?
He
Or
has
she
about
has?
he has about 6 martini glasses around the rim of the tray that he has.
Are they glowing?
Yeah, he has a couple of different ones. He has like some like martini glasses that have like a slight like glowing green aspect to them, and then another one that's not glowing, but it does fade from like a blue to like a deep dark purple at the bottom.
Ooh. Nope, I'm grabbing a couple of those.
Yeah, we're gonna
Double
clear out
fisted,
that
baby.
tray. And it's just like, well, we're going to be pissing rainbows in the morning.
Grab a drink for myself and for Milo since he's like hobbling and he's got his little arms on his walker.
Milo's probably like lounging across his walker, like.
Okay. Yeah, I'll grab a drink.
Okay. You
This
guys,
is
oh, go
kinda
ahead.
cool. I'm just saying this is kind of cool.
The woman that was greeting everybody, everybody seems to make their way in. I just lost it again. Okay, is everybody? Go ahead.
By the way, ma'am, is this going to don't you have to have darkness in these places? To like, I don't know. I heard that whenever you go into these places, it has to be very dark.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Okay, never mind. I'll just look over at the staff that has a big flaming suspended fire on the end of it.
It takes a look at it. It's fairly well lit in here, but seems like it'll be okay. Their instrumentation is advanced enough to get past it.
All right.
However, this elven woman from outside comes in and says, "Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for visiting Moonwatch Observatory. My name is Zipporah Dinsmore, and I will be your guide for the evening. Our first floor is just a brief glance into the philosophy of astrology and the other things. As you move your way up, you will find several different informational charts, pictures of certain phases of the moons, so on and so forth. Please enjoy the drinks, enjoy the views, and when you make it to the top, feel free to use our telescopes and view the night sky at its best. If you have any questions, I will be around." She gives a slight bow and she starts ascending the tower to the top. So, it's on you guys what you would like to do here and what floor you're going towards. The first floor seems a very basic, just introduction into like astrology and what it is, looking at the stars, finding meaning in them. And you see several different like constellations and stuff that'll be explained on the higher floors. Next floor, you get to some of these constellations named after, you have some named after the Sovereign Host, some named after the Dark Six. You have some that are just heroes throughout history. And as you ascend again, once more into the third floor, you have various phases of the moon, which of course goes through all typical different ones, but it takes this entire circle for Eberron. And they have like a different section, like they're probably sectioned off into like 8 feet sections for each moon that Eberron has. And there are 12 of these sections just divided around the room and the different phases that you can see them in. And below them, they each have like dates and stuff that they are above Moonwatch. It seems right now that there are a couple over Moonwatch, about 3 of them, it seems. And you can go around and see what various phases they are in. And then on the last floor, the telescopes themselves. If there's anything specific that you were looking for, or if you're just going to view around or anything, Nichols is having an excellent time. He has already he's sort of like double fisting a couple of glowing martinis right now, looking and reading about various constellations and stuff. So it's on you whether you would like to do anything or not.
Milo is probably super enjoying this because while he's taking classes on like astronomy, it's been purely from like a scientific or academic standpoint. So the chance to enjoy a more aesthetic approach to it is fairly novel to him. Aesthetic things weren't really a part of his life before all this, so he's getting into it.
Right, and just to sort of introduce you guys to a newer mindset. While astrology has some negative connotations IRL, like for us, you know, me, Alex, and the rest of us, like being not a real science or anything, in Eberron, these things actually do hold meaning. They have various effects on the universe around them. So if something is lining up, planes get thinner in between each. There are real life effects to these sorts of things. So.
And the effects are more what he studied before. This is his chance at looking at the more artistic side of things.
Right. Yeah.
Or,
absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
And this is very well blended. While it is very like the artsy side of it, and like here is a more general, like less gritty look at it. It blends the two very well. Like when this constellation is visible, you might have these sorts of things going on, like different sorts of moods that are affected on the planet, that sort of thing.
Cool, yeah. Milo's digging it.
Okay. You guys make your way to the top floor. Eventually, after going through all of these things, to the telescopes themselves. It takes a while to do this, this is the sort of bottleneck of the observatory. Obviously, this is kind of where people like to hang around. There are different cranks and gears to where the telescopes themselves will actually move around the dome to sort of adjust the angles and whatnot, by a certain degree. But for those looking through, is there anything you're looking for specifically, or would like to look for? Anything that interests you in particular before I go on with my stuff?
I will look for another waiter that has a tray of drinks. I'm like, hey, excuse me, can you carry 2 of these trays at a time? Is your balance good enough for that?
I try not to, just so I have free hand to grab a rail or something.
All right. Well, you'll probably need to bring a friend back. Eh? We'll just clear that off for the party.
Very well.
Pass them around.
Okay.
But do these come like in bigger glasses? Like, and I'll just show him that I'm not understanding that a martini glass isn't like a shopping or like a grocery store like teaser, like taste test thing. So it's like, will they come in like bigger ones? I just put the empty back on there.
Those are fairly potent. There's a reason they are in small glasses.
Oh,
If Milo saw that, he's just kind of like,
Professional alcoholic.
well, I will probably start feeling it pretty soon then. So I guess the more you bring, the quicker you will not have to come back and see me. I'll just pat him on the shoulder.
There's just a look of, I know what's coming. I've dealt with this customer before. I know what's about to happen. Yep. They sort of fold the tray under their arm and back downstairs.
As he turns to go down the stairs, I want to slip him a gold for a tip.
Not needed. And he sort of like folds it back in your palm. Much appreciated, but we are compensated for our work here.
Okay.
Well, it's like Japan. Tipping is offensive.
on that. Oh man.
So he heads back downstairs. There are drinks galore. No one is cutting you off. So
Just gonna lean down to the drawers and go, hey fellas, these things are really potent. We should probably not drink so many of them.
Gorham and Melgrim, Artyom's teeth are glowing.
That's awesome.
Oh. Interesting. I mean, I've had a couple of these. Would mine be glowing as well?
Would we be able to see your teeth?
Probably not
gotta-
through the beard. You'll
He's
have-
kind of like lift it up like a teeth window.
Wait. If we can't see his teeth, does that mean there's like a little bit of just like glowing on the edge of the beard? Like the tip of his mustache is glowing?
He's got glowing highlights in his mustache.
They do come around with some like hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that as well. After like various lunar themed treats and what have you. Milo, can I get you to roll an intelligence check for me? Or this would actually be a wisdom check. Sorry.
Oh no.
They apologize for their
Somehow
lack of
worse.
pickles. Somebody intercepted the pickle delivery.
Gracious.
Woo! That is an 11.
Okay. Does your drone get any bonus?
I shall check.
While he's doing that, Koshik, are you looking through the telescopes?
Yeah, I want to see the moons.
Okay. Make a perception check for me. Does any of this interest Gorham and Melgrim at all? Or are they there for the drinks?
Hanging out. It's kind of surface world or shit, right?
God damn.
Yeah, Malcolm might pick up English. Never seen.
If I'm doing the math right, 23, 14 plus 9, is that right? Yeah, 23.
All right.
Is this a raw wisdom check or like a
It is.
perception check of some kind?
No,
All right,
it's-
it does not have a wisdom bonus.
Okay. Milo, as you're sort of going around by the sort of star charts on the wall, outlining some constellations and stuff like that, your drone gives you a couple of taps on your shoulder.
What's that?
Goes into your backpack and brings out a roll that you had gotten back in Flamekeep. In the home of Ragnar Deertilly, you found a couple of star charts yourself that you grabbed off the walls and off of his desk.
Indeed.
Yes, of course. I totally remember that, says Cody.
I'm looking back through my stuff, but if the Dungeon Master says I have it, I'm imagining it was just too long ago for me to remember.
I am positive
I was
that you have it because
Not
you grabbed
keeping very good notes at that point.
several of them. You grabbed one off of his desk and two off of the wall. Various notes sort of scribbled on them. But your drone, right, sort of looking at the walls and having all of the knowledge that you have, pulls it out of your backpack and just sort of like hands it out to you.
Immediate curiosity and a shift of focus.
Yeah.
And we're going to do some comparisons.
Very well. Give me an investigation check for me.
Ooh, I got a fat bonus on that one. And that is a nat 20 plus 7.
Very nice. Geez. Within the matter of just a couple of minutes and looking at these sort of charts on the wall, Milo just sort of looking at one, you had a smaller one that was pulled off the desk of Ragnar Tyrtilly, the one that was being currently worked on, it looked like, or at least currently like notes being taken on, with a rather large portion of the star chart circled. After a couple of moments of going through what looks to be like 3 stars and then the shape of a humanoid type thing. You know how constellations are like just like very abstract in there, but you see it, and then just after a couple of quick glances around the walls and a circle around, you find one that it lines up with. Under it says the Traveler.
Koshik? Koshik!
Yes, guess I'll stop looking for the moons and I'll go over to Milo.
We'll say this is before you start your moon hunt.
Okay, cool. I'll go over to Milo.
Okay.
Hey, remember these charts we got back in Flamekeep when we broke into the house to find the guy? Up in his office.
And is like shaking, like enthusiastically shaking the chart at her.
Look at this. It lines up right here.
And he's gonna like go over the matching process and be like,
This could be important. These were circled. If this is a part of their information of some kind, I don't know what the connection is, but it's here. We didn't know what it was back then. We didn't have anything to compare it to, but this is it.
Okay.
I'm not sure how, but this could be useful in helping.
Still like caught up in his own enthusiasm, kind of shaking the charts at her.
This is good.
Great. Wonderful.
Having this conversation, Zipporah Dinsmore actually comes up behind you, sensing the enthusiasm for her art and science that she disseminates. She ends up coming. Yes, the traveler, actually visible currently from Moonwatch's observatory.
Show me, please.
And like just immediately be like,
I would like to see that if you would help me. Thank you.
He's like rolling up his own chart and sticking it back in his pipe.
Please follow me.
Absolutely. Let's go.
I will send Milo a cautionary telepathic message of, be careful, you're still pretty weak, buddy.
Too weak to look through a telescope?
I'm just saying, don't get too squirrely there.
I do plan to go with Milo.
You've also been drinking.
He's probably been sipping on like one martini this whole time. That's why he was so horrified at you just knocking him back. Which, at this point, his remaining third of a martini is probably like forgotten, sitting on a side table or something somewhere.
It's a tragedy.
Hey, he's on a mission, all right?
I'm sure
our team will find it.
That's what I was about to say.
Sorry.
Nope. I'm just imagining currently that there are a couple of the guys going around and finding abandoned drinks and claiming them. But Milo, she leads you up to one of the telescopes, facing to the south. I'm sorry, to the east, and takes you and moves a couple of dials, takes a chain and like pulls it down. It looks like these are fairly well made because it's just a slight pull on the chain moves this entire telescope over a little bit. And she says, looks through it for a moment. Yes, here you are. And make a perception check for me.
Perception check. Perception check. Perception check. Not a nat 20, but not bad. That would be 18 plus 6, 24.
The 24, you find it amongst the night sky, just sort of holding the pattern and looking at it. The 3 crown jewels of the traveler, the form that is typically accepted to be somewhat of a feminine form, outlining and sort of like a dancing motion almost, and with a 24, the top crown jewel, just with the slightest lavender tint to it.
Still looking at it, without taking his eye off. He's trying to look at details, find a clue somewhere in there. Just ask,
what's with that red color?
Red color?
Or purple color. Sorry, I was thinking burgundy for some reason, my bad.
I'm sorry. Let me look at what you're looking at. And she takes a moment and says, I do see what you're talking about.
You don't see it kind of like a light purple or a lilac, a lavender maybe?
Give me a second, I'm sorry. There's a somewhat of a long pause after you show this to her. And interesting. I'm not exactly sure. I've never seen that before. I don't think there's any recorded information about it. She seems to be a little bit lost in thought or confused at the moment.
And he can look at her and tell that she's like not seeing the color that he's seeing.
It seems like make an insight check for me.
Oh god, I don't know what my insight bonus is. Okay. 12.
Okay. She blinks a couple of times, just like trying to clear her mind a little bit. No, I see the color. I'm just not sure where it came from. I don't believe there's any documented or records of any sort saying that there's any colors on the stars. It's interesting. It's a good find.
Seeing that she doesn't see the color or whatever that he's seeing, is be like,
Maybe just the drinks. But, thank you for helping me get a look at this.
Just
I
to
mean,
clarify,
he says that-
she very much sees the color you're talking about. She's just saying that it's not. No, she's just saying that it's not, hasn't been documented anywhere.
Ah. Oh, well, lucky me.
And goes back to looking at the constellation,
Sure.
seeing if he can pick up anything out of it, any details, anything to line up why Ragnar had this in his office.
Nothing's coming to mind, but the longer you sit here and stare at it, you feel the back of the finger of your knuckle start to sear a little bit.
Looks at his gloved hand. When he looks away from the constellation, does it stop or does it keep going?
Subsides.
Oh, he does not like that at all.
I will
Is
leave you.
this
I'm sorry.
open nightly?
Yes, we are.
Excellent. We may come back tomorrow. I'm getting a little dizzy. I'm gonna go find my friends. Thank you for your help.
Okay.
Kashik, we should go find the others.
All right. And I'll kind of like put a hand on his back and like, since he said he was feeling dizzy, like even if he's actually not, I'm gonna guide him with my hand.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, to someone who has, been around him for long enough, he looks visibly unnerved.
He shook.
He shook indeed, for multiple reasons.
We will move on now to Kashik, who is searching for some of the moons. Kashik, what was your perception check?
It was 23.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely over
Yeah.
20, from what I remember. So,
Yeah. I could not remember.
you look around for a bit, and you're able to find on a couple. It takes a couple of different telescopes to see them all, but you do find in various stages the 3 moons that are currently over Moonwatch. But the 23, I'll say, sort of behind one of them almost. You're playing around with the settings and stuff because that helps things further away come to view. And you also see like the rings of Sybaris around Eberron that you're looking past and looking at. As you do focus on sort of one of the moons that are nearly directly overhead. Behind that, you see another mass from behind it, another celestial body. That is just a dark red. It's hard to see, but you see it just sort of like rolling out from behind this. It's just like a crescent moon size shape rolling out from behind the other one.
Okay. When I pull back from the telescope and like if I look around, is there anybody that works for the observatory? I can't stop saying observatory. For the observatory, or anybody that would have some kind of knowledge of things more than I would, that I could like get their opinion.
Zipporah Dinsmore rather is still up there.
Okay.
Although she's sort of like blinking her eyes a little bit and a little bit confused. But you walk up to her. Yes, how may I help you?
I'm seeing something I don't quite recognize. Could I get your opinion on?
Yes, of course.
There's like behind one of the moons. There's like a red shape, and I was just wondering what it was. It looks very peculiar.
She looks. I can give her advantage since you're helping her out.
It's a bit difficult to see, but
I do see it. Very interesting. From my knowledge, it looks to be another moon. Maybe catching up the reflection of another celestial body of some sort to give it the color. Very interesting indeed. It's obscured from view, so it's a very, very good find.
how exciting! 4 moons in one night.
Full moons indeed. I mean, people say there are powers in blood moons, so maybe it means something. I'm not quite sure. I do apologize, dear. I must step away for a bit. She excuses herself and turns around.
The blood moon, she says. I like that name.
All right. Is there anything else anybody would like to do, or is during this time?
Is Nichols up here?
Nichols is up here, and he is currently having a blast. He
I want
is
to show him
finding
the 4
everyone.
moons. Let me show him the 4 moons.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna I'll show him the 3 that you can see, and then I'll explain to him what she told me about the moon behind the moon and how it's the 4th moon, and I'm very hype about it.
Nichols is wobbling a little bit and says, "Yeah, come on, let's see." And he's like, pokes himself in the eye a bit with the telescope. Shit. All right. What am I looking for?
Look, can you see behind? Well, I can't really see. Behind the moon that I have it pointed at, you can see a bit of a red reflection, right?
Well, which one of the 6 ones am I looking for?
6. All right. Well, do you see the moon, Nichols?
Yeah, I see a lot of them.
All right.
It might be
He's
bedtime for
drunk.
me.
He's drunk.
he's enjoyed. You see him open his mouth. He's got like the blue and purple, like he's been sipping on a slushy going on. Nichols enjoys a good time.
I'm just patting him on the back and be like, all right, have fun, Nichols.
Bows a little bit too deeply with his cap off. You too as well.
All right.
Anything else
So-
anybody would like to do here in the observatory for tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to ask the dwarves a couple of things.
Sure.
So you fellas, what are what is dwarven astrology like? You guys do anything with stars? I mean, you live in underground, so this must be like super boring for you.
You pretty much hit the nail on the head there.
I imagine this would be like
Yeah.
if you took me to a place and they were like, look at all of these different type of shiny rocks.
What's wrong with shiny rocks?
Yeah, shiny rocks are pretty nice, actually.
What's the what? I don't.
Yeah,
hell-
I
I
get your
mean,
point. I get your
Like
point.
dwarves, like you live underground. You never like go to sleep under the stars or anything like that. It must be kind of weird, right?
It's weird, I guess. Yeah, interesting in a weird way.
It's a wee bit uncomfortable.
And oh, you don't like being outside and sleeping?
I don't. So much space. I don't know.
Okay.
Underground, you know what's there. You know, there's a roof somewhere at least.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. I guess it's just different for others. They're like, oh, yes, sky, freedom, vast openness, endless possibilities. But you're more like, I guess if someone were to look into a bottomless pit of the ocean or something like that.
You see Yorm kind of like think about that one, like a bottomless pit in the ocean.
Right, like you don't know what's down there. It could be dangerous. It's weird.
Oh, you mean like looking up at the sky? It's like
right,
that.
right, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, had humans and elves, they seem to like to go up, right? And dwarves like to go down. Don't think about it like that. Don't look at me like that. Put your eyebrow back down.
It was
Hey, there.
born like this. I don't know what to say.
Hey there, lad. No.
Like the mine. You know what I mean.
Right. No, I absolutely understand. If I didn't understand, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But so you must really hate the airship, probably then, right? Not your preferred mode of travel by any stretch of the imagination, I'd wager.
It's extremely convenient, but it's also a little what's the word?
Unsettling?
I guess. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Unsettling. Be that high in the air. But I guess, yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, okay, I'll keep that in mind. All right, that's a good thing to know.
More
Yeah.
drinks, says.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Aye.
You guys can spend as much time as you would like in the observatory looking around and finding the different things. There are constellations to be found. There are drinks to be had. So there's an entire experience here. However, we will quickly zip on over to Ganwin, who's rolled a 29 on his stealth check.
No.
Wait, real quick. This
Yeah.
entire time we're at the observatory,
Go for it.
did Melgrim still have on that cloak of the bat? Hell yeah.
Fat Porsche. No.
Getting used to it, I guess.
Ganwin.
Yeah.
With the 29, Madison has taken off down an alleyway. She's heading up to the outskirts of town currently and is hauling ass. It is a challenge for you to keep up, which is surprising. You're after a couple of moments of
goddamn.
well, you're trying to remain sneaky, so you're not moving at your full speed.
Right.
But she is doing the same and sort of keeping pace with her. It's she's moving.
I respect the hustle. We're like, whoa, this is pretty good.
Let's see. See if that works.
Oh no. Oh no.
You make your way and she's hauling ass through these streets. It's like she is running from something. Like she knows you're behind you. She hasn't looked back or anything, but she is hauling ass.
It's like the set. It's like she's fleeing something.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And you see she is dead running. She hits the edge of town and she keeps sprinting right now. Still not aware of you or anything like that, but she hits the edge of town and keeps sprinting. And you see she's heading towards, after just a couple of moments of keeping your eye on her and far enough back to where she won't hear you running as well, you see she's heading toward the edge of a wood.
Okay, I'm gonna keep following her. I'm I can guesstimate about how far I'm going. Like, how wide was this town? Are we going like hundreds of feet or hundreds of yards? Like a ballpark of how far away from backup am I getting?
Pretty far. You
Okay.
don't. Yeah, you don't think you're going to be having backup anytime soon.
Okay.
And like I said, I think it was last session, the observatory itself is about a 20-minute hike up a cliff from Moonwatch itself. She is going
Right, okay.
in the
She's going,
opposite direction.
Also,
Correct.
as this may be relevant,
Mhm.
At some point during the day, would we have gotten like a short rest in?
Yeah, I would say the entire day was a short rest.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, I mean that y'all didn't do anything taxing, so
Right. I was for the purposes of possibly being full HP.
surely.
Okay.
But she is hauling ass. Barrick is bouncing around in your pocket right now and having a roller coaster ride as you make your way up behind her. You see her that she disappears into the wood.
Okay.
The area is well lit outside of this like field, this sort of cleared area in between the town and the wood. The wood itself is dark. So Danwin is going to have a difficult time seeing in this dark. I'm not going to say it's completely dark because you do have the light of 3 overhead moons currently, with one of them becoming full and rising up over the sky currently.
Right.
So, but you will have disadvantage on perception checks at the moment.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Yeah, because I can't see in the dark. That's fine. Okay.
Is Ganwin pursue her into the woods?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Okay. She is being sketchy as shit.
I'd like you to make another stealth roll for me, please.
Okay. Stealth roll first. That one, it's only a 23.
Check real quick. See the bonus. Still doesn't beat it. Keeping quiet, I would like you to now make a perception check.
All right. So perception check at disadvantage is a 21.
Okay. After a few moments of running through this wood, keeping quiet and trying to, you follow her direction. After a moment, it's what would you say your perception check was?
21.
That was at disadvantage.
I rolled a 15 and an 11.
Nice, very nice. You're following her through here. Oh no, I can't switch over for some reason. We'll be fine. After a few moments, you have to stop relying on just looking around in the wood, but you do see her like feet print in the ground. Some of the moon like shining through the branches of the trees, lighting it up, and eventually you see Madison's cloak like off and all, like just over a branch. Continue running, and you see her belt that held her sword on it just off to the side.
With belt with sword?
With sword. Just flung off to the side.
Interesting.
Continue to follow it around, and you hear some just like trickle of water a bit. And you come to this clearing, this sort of opening, and as you do, moon just sort of hitting this river, you see just sort of sitting on top of a rock. Madison is sitting there, or at least her form. And then as this moon just sort of starts hovering above the lake and everything, you hear just sounds like grits and grunts of pain as Madison just sits there, and you see one arm just go and like it's shifting out of place, and then another one up as well, and you see the back of her head get just lunged forward, and just hair starts sprouting from every side down her arms and her back. Roll a history check for me.
Oh god. Oh yeah, I'm so good at these. I got you. All right. Because I don't have proficiency in any intelligence check. Oh, I actually rolled pretty good though. 17.
One of the many stories that Gandalf has heard, either through the military or through his parents. You've heard of tale of creatures, lycanthropes, and the like. This looks to be a werewolf. Madison is sitting there on a dark, and she's not doing anything currently. After her transformation is complete, you just see and hear her from here, just this heavy breathing. She's just sitting there by the lakeside. It looks like she's, or pond side rather, it's not a large lake or anything, with a small like tributary type river off to the side, and just this heaving breath. She just sits there.
Okay. I guess I have an understanding of them being dangerous.
Yeah. I would say with a 17, you would
Yeah,
also
I was-
have an understanding of like lycanthropy as a disease itself.
Right. Like, how much of it do I like understand that they kind of lose control of themselves at a certain point? Like, I'm just trying to determine like how much I know about.
Right. I'll
The
say with a
specifics of
17, you're not sure the specifics on control. Like, you're not sure if it's just like a stark raving mad thing. It doesn't seem to be that way at the very moment. Madison has just slowly breathing and like looking at her reflection right now in this pond. It seems like it's just heaving right there. Looking down, it doesn't look like she has gone through any sort of rage. And I'll just say, with your perception, not a history check, it seems like she has some sort of control over it. Now, the amount of control you don't know. Also, with a 17, well, we'll just go with that. I'll say you know of the spread of lycanthropy.
Right. I'm going to remain as quiet as possible and keep an eye on her for the moment.
Okay. You keep an eye, and after a couple of moments, after just sort of staring at a reflection, just sort of lifts, and she stands up to her full height, probably about 11 feet tall currently.
Mm-hmm.
Stands up and sits herself onto a rock, like pulls her legs up cross-legged, has her hands on her knees, and just sits there for a moment. Hangs out. And you still hear, even from this distance, just the deep sort of growls.
Clearly, like, not like going to sleep or anything, just
Sitting there.
Okay.
Go and roll another stealth check for me while you're over there.
Oh shit. Ooh, we're going lower. We're going lower, fellas. That's a 22.
22.
We're dropping.
You sit there a moment, just sort of like eyeing. It's
Yeah.
not really moving too much at the moment, and then
Internal monologue. Oh shit, I didn't take a shower earlier today. Fuck.
Gandalf would like sneakily like.
Shit. Yeah, I just like sniff check. Okay, who? Thanks. I'm just stock still.
looks directly at you.
Okay. Oh fuck. She moving at all?
Not currently.
Okay.
Locked eyes, her breathing gets a little bit labored.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Clearly, she knows I'm there. I'm just gonna kind of. Hey, Madison. I just gotta keep my hands out to either side, like I'm trying to placate, like a canine. Yay. Nothing to be worried about.
Hear a voice, albeit a little bit gravelly and raspy, but a familiar voice come from this creature.
Okay.
What are you doing?
You were real shady, so I followed you. Now you see why you were being real shady. It's fine.
Sort of quiet at the moment, eyeing you. Are you stepping closer? You're just sort of
No,
keeping your distance.
No, I'm keeping my distance. I'm no longer trying to actively obscure myself. Like I stand up like to my much smaller full height than her, just kind of making sure. I will say it's worth noting I'm not wearing any of my weapons that she can see anyway. Like I don't have my sword or my bow or stuff. I just have my jacket.
Right. She doesn't see anything. Here, we'll see. Yeah, she doesn't see anything at the moment. Sort of looking off in your direction. Just your presence seems to have aggravated her somewhat.
Right. Absolutely. So I just gonna keep my hands out to my side. It's not like I'm reaching for any weapons or anything. Do any of the others know?
No. And you can't tell them either.
Of course not.
Eyes narrow a little bit. She seems to... The thought of you telling someone, just another like snarl, and then you see her just close her eyes for a moment and like refocus and look back over at you.
Does it look like she's thinking about attacking?
It looks more like she's trying to stop herself from attacking currently.
Right. Hey. I am not one to judge based on secrets. But are you worried because you're from Flamekeep? Or they're all from that area? I actually don't know if Gandalf knows that they don't like lycanthropes, so that might be a bad question to ask.
You rolled a 17 on your history check.
Uh-huh.
It is fairly well known that the Flamekeep follow.
Or not. No, not Thrain. Whatever that. I can't remember the country that Flamekeep is in. Fuck.
Yeah, it's Thrain.
Is that Thrain?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But specifically the Silver Flame,
Right.
which you'll recall Lucas did have. I mean, Lucas, the Templar of Law for the Keeper of the Flame, his nephew Jeremiah, also with a cape of the flame. You can tell any of them.
Wasn't planning on it. But I would say is for both yourself and them, while I understand why you're keeping it a secret, is dangerous for both groups. What do you plan on doing if y'all are out somewhere and you can't just run off?
I figured it out so far.
So far? Have y'all been deep in the woods in hostile territory and you've needed to go somewhere to turn?
Once or twice.
And that went off without the hitch?
I've had someone teach me to keep this under control.
That is good.
I am from Flamekeep.
It is very
I know how to
ballsy
keep this in.
of someone of your disposition to stay there.
Well, someone watched over me.
It's also good. I'm
Sort
still
of
not moving.
Stands up on the rock at this point and gets into like the squatting position. Why did you follow me?
Because you're acting shady as shit.
You shouldn't put your nose where it doesn't belong.
Yeah.
Now I have to worry about you.
The longer you live, the more people you're going to have to worry about, one way or the other.
If you
Get
tell
used to it.
Jeremiah, He'll try.
And just like if you decide that you want to shut me up, you can try. Probably won't go well for either party. But perhaps you're able to keep it under wraps for long enough. And remain safe and keep them safe for long enough, maybe it won't matter. I don't know.
Sort of staring intently at you right now.
Make it. Make an eye contact.
You were in Flamekeep. For how long?
Like a week. Ish. Not exactly from there if you can't tell.
Just so you're aware of what I'm doing on the screen. She's making wisdom saving throws as the conversation goes on, and she's trying to press you for a little bit for more information, and says, "When did you show up?"
You mean like the day? I mean, me and my group came. I don't know. Do you remember Ragnar? That guy? What? Templar of Law before Lucas?
Her expression, if you can read it, drops, and her teeth are baring at you when you mention Ragnar.
I will take
Pops
that as
down
a
off of the
yes.
rock. What do you know about Ragnar Dearsley?
Not a whole lot. We killed the shit out of him. We know that he was stealing kids, it seemed like.
Again, when I need you to roll initiative.
Shit. Alright. Alright, 18.
Oh boy.
You know why you're so stupid?
I have an 8 intelligence. What do y'all want from me?
He is stupid.
That
I-
may not
I-
taught
I-
you
I am.
anything.
Gadwin is canonically not very smart.
You see, when you say that, she says, "You."
Yeah,
What?
no, fuck. I didn't know anybody liked him.
She leaps at you.
Okay.
You're gonna be going first.
Okay. I'm just gonna as I was minimally armed, I'm gonna draw Echo Memento and just kind of whoop out of the jacket like, oh shit. And I'm gonna take the dodge action.
Okay. You take the dodge action. That it for your turn? You moving anywhere? You kind of start staying on the edge of the wood here.
Nope. I'm gonna stay on the edge of the wood.
All right. Okay. Sorry, I'm reading stuff.
Sure.
I gotta read a movement speed. She hauls ass towards you.
That is not shocking.
EM says, I have to look up exactly how boned you are.
Probably.
Just hulking figure slaps down both claws onto the ground and starts charging you. When she does, she's gonna reach out with a claw and just tries to rake up your form.
Okay.
The first one is a 6.
Fantastic.
The second one is a 16.
Still misses.
Just sort of out of okay, yeah, no, that's all she's gonna do for this turn, as she just raging at this point, and I need to roll another wisdom saving throw.
Bitch got hands. Woo!
She's swinging wildly at you currently as you step back. It's your turn again. Just
Okay.
snarling, like saliva dripping down her teeth right now.
I just gonna call it like, look, he didn't really give us much choice. He had made the deal with a demon. He was stealing kids that we now know were having their souls ripped out and turned into crystals.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage for me.
Okay. I don't roll these very well either, just so everybody's aware. At disadvantage, that is I think that's a 12. Yeah, it's 12.
Yikes.
There's an 18 and an 11. So the first one would have been really good.
Wisdom save at disadvantage. I rolled an 18 and 16. DC 15. So, she swipes one more time at you as you're sort of like backing up with these kukri in your hand.
Yeah.
Sort of stares at you for a second and waits for you to continue talking.
Okay. Anything. Look. We showed up in the Flame Keep following the trail of some guys who were kidnapping children. And unfortunately, that trail led to Ragnar into some weird meeting down below the streets. We went. He was there along with the jackass that we followed, and then a demon or a fiend. I don't know. Devil, fiend, demon. They're very iffy on the difference. But they were taking him for something. We weren't sure what at the time, and we were trying to find more places that were also stealing kids. Found out actually not that long ago that what was happening is they were looked like they were having their souls put into which one does these Sybaris crystals. They're very potent magical force. Fortunately, when we got there, they tried to make a deal with us to let them continue their work. We told them to fuck off. He decided that it was worth dying over.
You see just a look of almost relief come over her face.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone babied me because of my age. Everyone wouldn't tell me what happened. I knew something did.
Who?
Everybody in the Order, Lucas's people, all of them wouldn't tell me exactly what happened.
Doesn't seem to be the best course of action in my experience, but well, at least now you know.
Seems to be holding together a little bit better at the moment.
Okay. And what, may I ask, was your relationship with Ragnar, the Earthling?
Ragnar had found me when I was a kid.
She seemed to fit the general description of the dark-haired girl that the horses had talked about.
Did
All the way back
RTM
in
ever
time.
tell that to the group?
Oh shit, that's a good question. Maybe not. I don't know.
Would RTM have shared that information with the group?
Yeah, for sure.
I'd say at this point, she still looked. I mean, right now she looks like a werewolf, but
Right. If
She
I like
looked-
think back on how she looked in the daylight.
right. You think back for a moment. She looks older, but the girl's also at this point probably had a pretty hard life.
Mhm.
Something taxing about everyone around you wanting you and your kind dead. Did you say something about the demon?
I did. I told her that he had made a deal with a demon for some reason.
I was wondering how he got it.
Get what?
Knowledge. Me trying to control this.
Was he also of a similar affliction?
No. He didn't know for a while. He cleared out a den. I was there. I guess Ragnar had a soft spot. Sorts.
How long ago was that?
That he found me.
Yeah.
When I was just a baby. So 15
what?
years.
Let's see. And so he had a soft spot for kids. At that point, at least.
I guess so.
We heard you hadn't been around for a while.
He sent me away.
Any idea why?
He had a dream of what was to come. Started looking towards the stars a lot more. Sent me away with it.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that one more time for me, Jones? I'm sorry.
Yeah, she said that he started looking to the stars a lot more and sent her away.
Okay. I thought you said with it, and I was like, okay. Yeah. Ragnar is a big believer in the stars and what knowledge they can impart. Upwards inflection on the end of that
Right.
sentence.
Shakes her head no. Say recent thing.
Okay. You know about how recent?
About a couple of months before his death, I suppose.
Alright.
Who killed him?
Can I
Was-
insight check her?
Yeah.
And see if I'm just trying to see if she's asking so that she can try to murder them.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Fuck me. 15.
15. It's difficult to read her at the moment. She looks like she would probably want to kill everything.
Okay.
So you're not too sure.
I did.
Just glares at you for a moment. Starts breathing heavy. Just deep guttural growls at the moment. Make a deception check for me.
Oh, dice gods!
Oh no!
No fucking way.
I'm dead ass serious, unfortunately.
I don't think Jonesy saw your finger.
It's a
did.
natural one.
Natural 1.
Yep.
She rolled a natural 2.
Oh god!
She just looks over at you as you say I did. And you lie. Why tell me the truth up till now? Tell me.
You look particularly murderous at this point. So.
You're still alive?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me.
Why?
Because I deserve to know.
I guess so. As long as I get your word that you're not going to get yourself killed trying to avenge the man who slaughtered your original family.
Looks like she goes into thought for a moment. Tell me it wasn't Lucas.
It was
Make a persuasion check for me.
okay. You will not believe me.
Natural 1 again.
Is another natural one.
Reroll. I don't believe it. Jonesy weighted your dice.
Apparently, Jones snuck into my house.
It's all those natural 20s coming back.
Yeah, that's everybody else's fault.
It's all coming back to one guy.
Yeah, at this very
Yeah,
moment.
it's all coming back to this. Fuck me. I don't want. Fuck.
I'm gonna roll her an insight check.
Okay. Counternatural.
She's not quite sure if she believes you or not. Then who was it?
Your word first.
What Ragnar did, he was different before that.
He was different before he took you.
Before he made the deal.
I'm sure he was. Doesn't change the fact that he did.
You have my word.
I would like to insight check to believe her.
Go for it.
Because I'm not particularly worried about Gorham. I'm worried he'll just have to fucking murder her. I don't want that.
It's completely fair.
Fuck me, man. There's not another natural one, but it's only 14.
Looking at her, it's easy to kind of get lost in the fear of what lycanthropes are, sort of what they represent in the stories around them and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Seems completely honest with it.
This is one of my companions, Gorham. He struck the finishing blow.
Sort of nods. Madison has seemed to take comfort in the truth for the majority of this conversation and conversations before.
Mhm.
Doesn't like the people continuously trying to baby her for whatever reason, age and whatnot. Just giant claws like scratching at the fur. And you're not going to tell them any.
Wasn't planning on it.
Then go.
Are you sure? Kind of lonely, just sitting in the woods. Pretty unhappy, I would imagine.
It's better if you go.
How far out into the woods are we?
You followed
Give or
it
take.
like you followed it at a pretty fast speed for about 15 to 20 minutes. So a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 feet.
Deeper than people would randomly just wander into the woods in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
For any particular reason.
It seems like she's
Right.
done this before. She knows what
Right.
she knows how far at least she needs to get.
Okay.
Seems.
I will, at this point, sheath the kukri. Just kind of. Alright. But. At least think about this, right? Good for them not to know for now. But. It'll be a risk to you or them eventually.
I don't think you understand.
Pretty sure I do.
He will have to try.
Will he?
Jeremiah, yes.
Make him really not want to. Save his life a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Go counter to everything he's been told to believe about people like you. It might make a difference. And would you rather it get him killed? Because you have to be gone and they don't know where you are, and oh, you disappeared in the middle of the night, and so they went looking for you. You got massacred. Is that better?
I'll do what I need to do to keep them safe. I've done it so far.
Mm-hmm. And things only get harder. He won't. They all seem pretty sincere to me, even the hunk of metal. They want to do something good. And so they're gonna keep punching above their weight class. And eventually that little bit of risk can be the hinge that brings it all crashing down. All it takes is one.
Make a
One
persuasion check for me.
That's a lot better. 15.
15.
This is not a fucking natural one.
Takes it under consideration for one. Just a like long pause. Long pause.
God damn.
Sits there for a moment and says, it'll be considered.
Should. Anywho. Also, no matter what he did for you after the fact, still took you from the family you had, and I guess he was too attached to you to ship you off with the others after he made that deal. But he did.
He was different before.
Really. I think really hard about the things he did for you and whether they really were for you or whether he could use you for something.
You weren't there. You don't know.
No. Yeah. I've seen the type.
Have you never seen a good man succumb to something difficult?
Unfortunately.
Collapse. Everything he stood for before that crumbled. Have you ever seen a man break?
Just gotta think really hard about a bet. Close to, if not the same. But I've also seen people who made me think they were good men. Convinced me to do things that I probably shouldn't have. Because I thought that what they said was right. And because I thought that they cared. They wanted the best for myself and those around me. But that was a lie.
Ragnar did want the best for me. It's best you leave.
Very well. As long as you give telling them eventually some thought. Good luck. I'll just turn around and walk away.
It doesn't say anything after a couple of moments, just to sort of see her clamber back to the water. Some sort of like visual focus that she has. Clambers on top of the rock, staring at it. And as you make your way back into the town, say you make your way into town about the same time that some of our drunk party members or drunker party members, and some donned with some new knowledge of the stars and moons. That's where we'll take our break. So,
Hey.
we will take our break. Don't go anywhere. Drop a follow if you have not. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We are so glad to have you. We are going to take a quick bio break. Don't go anywhere. Don't forget also that we are still raising money for Extra Life. So consider donating to them. The link is right down below. You can also do !charity in the chat and get a direct link. So consider donating that. We're currently at $1,326 out of our overall $3,500 goal. We're going to be continuously raising money for that, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few. And hello, everybody. We're back. We still got this really intense music. Let's calm that down a little bit. Shall we? All right. Where we last left off. Part of our group, or the majority of our group, plus Nichols, went up to... I would like to say that Audrey, Everett, and Erish all stayed back at the Moonbeam and Brew, actually. Audrey and Everett with some more... Everett with some more talking, and Erish with some more reading. Erish has his own interest right now, but the majority of the party, sans Gandalin, went up to the Moonwatch Observatory. You know, a meh experience for those not obsessed with the night sky, for those that had some information to be gleaned, but at least there were drinks. Milo had a brief revelation as his drone reminded him of some star charts and pointed him in the constellation of the Traveler and Kaushik, finding a fourth moon, specifically a blood moon that was revolving around one. We then switched over to Gandalin, who had followed Madison and who had tried to slink outside of the party's view, including her own party, running just full-on sprint into the woods. Gandalin finding her covering up a lycanthropy affliction, being a werewolf specifically, and learned a little bit into her past, as well as Ragnar Dyrteles, a member of the Silver Flame that they had dispatched as he had become corrupted. So we pick back up with everybody sort of meeting back at the Moonbeam and Brew. The Moonwatch Observatory crew, the Moon Crew, as they've been dubbed, making their way back. High spirits, some of you quite drunk. Nichols needing a hand here and there so he doesn't stumble down the cliffside. But you guys make your way back in. Gandalin winded a little bit from the journey that you've taken, but with you guys are now met back up and in the Moonbeam and Brew. Dinner is served. More drinks are served if you wish to partake. But it's just sort of a quiet, more of a quiet night. You gotta have somewhat of a stream of people coming in behind you once they finish at the observatory themselves and are starting to order up drinks. So as you guys sit in here, the longer you sit in here, it gets a little bit more lively again.
Shortly after arriving, Milo is going to shuffle over to Kaushik and still looking a little distressed, but more like contemplatively distressed at this point after he's had a little bit of time to come down off of his frighten. Just be like,
Kaushik, do you have plans for the evening? Are you going to bed or stand up for a bit?
What time is it?
This going to the observatory probably happened around 8 p.m. So spending a couple of hours there, probably 10 or 11.
I should be up for a little while at least. Anything I can help you with?
Actually, I wanted to go back and talk if we can find somewhere private. Might
Sure.
be lengthy, might not, I don't know.
Oh, all right. Give me just a moment.
Alright, I'll
And then
get us a place.
and he's gonna shuffle over to the bar while she does whatever she needs to do.
I want to find Artyom, and I'd just like to ask him: Have you heard anything from Gandalin?
No, I haven't heard anything from Beric, so everything should be fine.
All right, good to know. Then I'm gonna go. I guess find where Milo went.
Milo, once he got to the bar, would have, asked,
Pardon me, do y'all have any, side rooms or, private dining areas, anything like that?
Well, no, you have your rooms upstairs still.
Could I
And
get
we have the kitchen.
Could I get a bottle of wine and a couple glasses, maybe something to snack on? I'm gonna be talking for a bit.
Sure. Yeah, we got some more fried pickles right here. And turns around and gets a bottle of wine. It'll be 5 silver for the bottle of wine and pickles.
Put a gold on them, be like, if you could have those brought up to my room, and give his room if they don't know it. And he gestures at his walker.
Sure. Yeah.
And then start heading towards his room, kind of hailing Kaushik if he sees her.
Okay. You guys upstairs to Milo's room. A couple of moments come by and he's finishing up things at the bar and whatnot. I would say during this time, Ganwin, it's probably about when you circle around the corner and start walking into the bar. You see the majority of your party without Milo and Kaushik just sort of sitting around a table right now having some drinks. And but nonetheless, barkeep comes upstairs, you hear a light knock on your door, handing you off the bottle of wine, basket of fried pickles, and two like cuts.
Thank you very much.
And gonna kind of scoot over to a seat on the bed next to the dresser, bedside table, whatever available furniture to place the glass on, and wait for Kaushik to take a seat wherever else.
Before I sit down, I'm gonna take the pickles from him.
Okay.
While she takes the pickles, he'll go ahead and pour himself a healthy glass of whatever wine. He was probably too distracted to even pay much attention to what he grabbed.
Is everything okay?
Hopefully. You know the gentleman in whose company we originally found you?
Right.
What was his name again?
Lord Aelfred?
Yeah, him. Who is he, exactly? That you know of.
Take a sip, kind of look at her over the edge of his glass.
Roll a history check for me, Kaushik.
Yeah, thank you, because I'm like,
Yeah, I got you.
It's a 12.
Okay.
Plus 0, I don't know anything.
So with a 12, I'll say Lord Aelfred, was the lord of his realm. Now, you stumbled upon that place just like these guys did. You don't know what that realm was, but you know the effects that it had on you, and the effects that it had on other living creatures. Nothing ever lived there long, and if it did, it started to grow twisted and slowly wither. But other than that, you're just not sure.
I know only that he was the lord of the realm that I was in when you found me. I don't know much else of his history. I didn't really ever ask. I was just grateful to be taken in and watched over. What's going on, Milo?
Well, we'll get there. Do you have a way to contact him?
Yes.
And do you know if someone wanted to ask a favor of him, what he might want or demand? I don't know anything about him.
As far as I know, he's not really one to do favors. He's kind of the kind of you're on your own person. I did ask him for information after the whole situation with Zoria, and I don't know what he'd want in return. It seems he has everything he...
Say less a favor, more an exchange, I guess.
That's just something I'll have to ask him. I don't know that he wants for anything. Can you please tell me what's happening?
I don't really know for sure myself. But... And until I know more, can this please stay between the two of us? And just until I know more.
Sure.
More than once now, I have been in contact with something. Or it contacted me. First time I wasn't even 100% sure it wasn't a dream or a hallucination brought on by the illness when we were in that border realm place. But then it happened again. And when I was injured in that fight and passed out, I was there again. And when I woke up, he's gonna slide off his right glove and show her the grayed fingertips.
Kashyyyk, as he does this, the very tips of his fingers, like where you would play a lute or something, and it may even be mistaken for that, like calluses from playing guitar or a lute. Very tips of his fingers are a very dull gray. You've seen that before. What you also recognize, you have a very high passive, is that as he's sort of showing you his fingertips, the right index finger is missing its nail.
It's gotten worse, Milo. I thought you said that you were better. Oh, cozy. I thought...
He puts his glove back on.
Milo.
I don't know what this... I don't think person is the right word. This being is. It's something greater and more powerful than us, but I don't think it's benevolent. And we don't have contact to any other greater beings except for Mr. Alfred, Lord Alfred. I figure if anyone's going to know anything about a greater being, it would be another greater being.
You don't think anyone else in the party should be privy to this or could help you at all?
And I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm going to tell them. It's not just going to stir up concern and or panic. We are on a mission, and that could be distracting. If I have solid information to give them, or at least a course of action, some modicum of knowledge, then sure. But you've seen Artyom and Gandalwin and the others. When they're concerned, they're going to focus on it. And we can't be distracted from far more important events than the fate of my hand.
Right. Okay. I'll contact Lord Alfred. I'll let you know what he says.
And I've made enough questionable bargains lately. I might as well make one more. I am open to bargaining if he has any questions. Or, yeah, whatever, you know. And at this point, he's like almost jittery as he's just sitting there looking at his gloved hand, sipping his wine.
What questionable bargains have you made?
I don't even know.
Those are really questionable.
It was open-ended, or obfuscated or something. I wasn't exactly given a long time to think about it.
Right.
I just don't know. I would tell you more if I knew anything else. But weird beings and ethereal spaces and glimpses into the future, none of this is my wheelhouse at all. None of it's measurable, predictable, understandable even. You're the only person in this group that I know of that deals with something this just absolutely out there. And he's like probably glassy-eyed at this point as he takes another shaky sip.
Well, I don't want to worry you, Miley, but I don't think I've even dealt with anything like this.
Closer to it.
Right? Do you want me to contact him now? I can.
Uh,
I can wait until tomorrow.
do
if
you
you'd like.
do you think it would be best?
I feel like this might be one of those things that we should handle as soon as possible.
Sure. Worst will get us a fuck off, hopefully.
You'd think.
And we could bear to get some answers. Wait. This hurt or something when we were looking at that constellation. And that arguably only brings up more questions?
What was the name of that constellation?
One sec. And he's gonna, like, go digging through his bag until he gets it. The Watcher.
Are you being intentionally deceiving?
No, he's just really completely discombobulated right now. Like, brain fog, having a hard time keeping a straight thought. This is a whole lot of uncertainty and worry that he's been shoving away and boxing away for a long time now, so.
Right. Kaushik, you were there when he brought you over to it, to that constellation on the wall, and it was named below it when he was pointing it out and going over his findings. It was called the Traveler.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, my bad. He would have given the correct name. I just remembered it wrong.
Oh, that's why you were asking if he was being intentionally
Oh,
deceived.
yeah. Cody
Correct.
messed up. Milo didn't mess up.
Why would he lie to me about that?
Yeah, the Traveler.
Okay. That's so strange. Alright. I'd like to cast Sending at 4th level because I'm out of 3rd spell slots to try to contact Lord Aelfred.
Very well.
Fingers crossed that it gets to him because I know there's a percentage chance if he's in a different realm, it won't.
Correct.
Give me just a moment to type out the message. And if anybody else wants to be doing anything, you can switch to them because it might take me just a minute.
Okay. You guys are down in the bar. Ganowin walks in after a couple of minutes of Milo and Kaushik leaving the table.
I just make
Yeah,
a beeline
I'll-
and grab a drink from the bar before being like,
Hey.
there you go, and sitting down. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, it was-
Artyom was probably on his way back from the observatory wondering who put like all kinds of slick shit on the bottom of his staff that he's having to use for a majority of his balance because he just keeps like slipping and stumbling all over the place. The big old total of a 3 on my Constitution saving throw for that alcohol. And yeah, when Gandalin gets in, I'll kind of like maybe a little bit too loudly, start talking to Barrick. I'm like, oh, so you went off into the woods alone with a young girl. Oh, tell me more, Barrick. Tell me more.
Barrick was in my pocket.
Yeah, I'm not
Yep.
being
Eric's
truthful.
got ears.
I was like,
Peeks a little head out.
And he's like, shut up, Artyom. Good Lord.
You have lots of
Gods
drinking to
above.
catch up on.
Working on it.
She'll do. All right. Crowley, can I get you to play us a good, sweet tune? I believe I owe you a story, Artyom. Just right. Try to follow along with your little magic puppets or whatever if you can. Right. Yeah. You wanted to hear about how I met my wife, right, Artyom?
Ah, yes.
There's a magic puppet of Melgrim just with a hammer banging against Melgrim's hat. Just you can't see it. It's okay.
Right. Well, one night I was out hunting some deer near the home. Don't usually go outside from the caves, but tonight particularly, that night particular, felt like doing it. Went deep into the woods.
Barcat hops up onto Melgrim's lap, hisses at Barrick.
Kind of went deep into the woods, and all of a sudden I couldn't move. Later found out that Madeline, her name, had set a magical trap. It was like I was paralyzed. I was there for the better part of 4 hours before she finally checked in on it. Oh man, takes a long sip of the drink. I tell you, she was the most beautiful lass I've ever seen. Beautiful, beautiful. Blonde hair, blonde, beard. It was love at first sight for me, boy. Lad, sorry. Drunk. Didn't mean to call you boy there, Artyom. I don't really know how old you are.
Apparently, I'm very, very old.
Really?
Anyway.
You'll
Sure.
have to tell me about that sometime.
Okay.
Yeah. It was love at first sight for me, and her too. Apparently, she didn't want to admit it at first, but yeah, we had some good adventures together before we finally settled down and set a date for marriage. She in the village she lived in, they were being bothered by some particularly mean elves that shouldn't have been that close to Dwarven territory anyway. Don't know how they got there. Takes another sip, long sip of a drink. Oh. Right. Anyways, my brother and I, we kind of helped them deal with that, and well, the rest is history. I guess you would say.
So she was a fighter then, right? Yeah.
No, she's a magical sort.
No, she's a magical sword.
Yes.
That's even more intriguing. What type of magic does she do?
I don't rightly know. I'm not good with magic, my friend.
Does she listen to books, or is it more like a belief thing?
I think she studies books. Yeah.
You should
Right.
really know your wife a little bit better.
Look. I don't know what. I probably should, but I don't know what magic she is. But yeah, I'm drunk, Artyom. Damn.
Yes, I'm drunk too. I apologize for saying you don't know your wife. That was uncalled for.
Well, I know my wife. I just don't know magic. I'm bad at that. don't really like it, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. Where was I?
What have you seen her do with magic aside from bewitching, strapping young dwarves?
Well, the trap I was in, it was almost like a stone trap, like what Kolshik can do with stopping people in place.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go get some more drinks. Yeah.
Oh, okay. When he gets up, he's. I don't know if Melgrim likes sharing or not, but that was a good story. I had no idea that Melgrim was even married until like yesterday. Gorham, do you have a wife and kids?
I do not. I have to focus on my duties.
All right.
Get back. Hand another ale to Artyom. Ah, yes. We have 2 beautiful kids together, by the way.
Oh yeah, what are their names?
Aye. Well, my son.
What
There-
is that little bastard's name? Can't remember.
They're in the document.
Crawley tilts his head a little bit, like song pause, like
Just, Helgrim, do you not know your son's name?
Well, they, you know, they
Wyatt
name-
does remember. Ah, my son.
who is
I thought
Wyatt?
for a
Who's
split
Wyatt?
second there, I thought you were about to say your son's name was Wyatt.
Yep. Yep. I was like, that's not it in the document, but that's funny.
Not in the document at all. My son's name, Magramal Mel. And my daughter's name, Jocelyn.
Your son's name is much longer than your daughter's.
Yes, it is. It's fine.
That is, those are some great dwarven names. I am almost jealous of how good names those are. You chose very, very well.
How much did you drink at the observatory?
Oh no, your teeth are very glowing.
Wait. How many people's teeth are glowing? Quick question, as I was not there for that.
You probably at least see beard glowing.
Yeah.
You got the glowing
Melgrim's.
mustaches going on.
Everybody looks like they just blew a pixie.
What the fuck happened to all
Hell
of
yeah.
you? What is wrong with your mouths?
They had moon juice at the observatory. They actually have a lot of alcohol there. I think it's kind of like what these places like a nightclub type kind of thing. It's just there's like some astronomy stuff there, but there's all kinds of alcohol. It's really good. It tastes like super sweet.
Isn't that like on the cliff? That sounds kind of dangerous. You ask me. Like kind of like a
Yes.
safety risk.
It's a pretty. We should probably get some barriers set up for the drunk people.
They have like guardrails going down the stairs.
Do they DM?
Yes, but
Going
don't
down
be
the stairs, yes,
It's
they
a
did.
free for all. Just whoever. If you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't.
survival of the fittest. But come, be seated, Gandalin. Melgrim was just about to tell us the name of his son and daughter.
Yeah, I heard.
Did you?
I've been sitting right here for like 5 minutes.
I was just focused on him trying to remember the name.
Oh,
That
I see,
took me
yeah.
by surprise.
Okay, look.
There's a female dwarf just beating Melgrim's
Crowley.
dwarf puppet over the head. Just.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about what that's about what Madeline's gonna do when I get back home.
Yeah, her hammer's bigger than Melgrim's. So.
Well, whenever we get the world taken care of and Yidril put into a nice deep hole in the ground, then whenever you have to, you know, you meet the dues with the wife, I can come in and try to at least talk you up a little bit so she's not so mad.
Oh yeah, of course you're gonna have to meet the family.
I mean, I already told Gorham that I'd make sure you didn't die, so I mean, it's kind of, I have to be there now, because she's going to fucking kill you. She's really going to kill you. If you've been gone for how many months and you just entered the first letter like the other day, she's probably, yeah, she's going, she's probably, you know what? I'm glad I can help her generate body parts. That's all I'm saying.
Oh boy.
Well, that's done. I'm ready to send my text
We're just
message.
transfer saves.
Yes.
back.
How old are your children, Meldrum?
You asking that as Crowley?
Yes.
Well, Mal is 30. And Jocelyn,
Was that 13 or 30?
30.
Okay.
I'll let the
Holy
wee
shit.
lad.
A wee lad.
Lord.
Understandable.
I mean, still pretty young for a dwarf. But, right. Jocelyn is only 5 years younger.
Those are good ages.
How old are you, Malcolm?
100.
Yeah, I was like actively counting on his finger.
I see Gandalin County, and in my drunken state, I can't help but just send him a mental message: 25, 17, 42.
I
Damn it, Artyom!
we
Stop
bit
it.
over 100, lad.
Excuse me, what?
I'm a dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
We live rather long lives.
Mm-hmm.
Crowley will.
So yeah,
Crowley will snake his arm to an unattended drink that I'm sure
we,
someone
we
got
bit
him.
we
not
bit over
knowing he
100
doesn't drink.
years of yeah. What
Holy shit.
you want to call it?
Did you not hear grandfather when he said he was over 1,000?
Aye, he's an old bastard.
I guess it's true. That's very
Yeah.
old.
How old is your grandfather, by the way? Do you know a more exact year?
You would know that your grandfather is approaching 1,000 years.
Oh,
So retcon that a little bit.
okay.
Let's wreck on that. Yeah, Crowley's gonna raise a glass. He's like, far older than my children when I lost them in the morning, to their good health, and he'll take a sip.
Aye, thank you. I can't imagine what you went through, Crowley.
Worry not about it. I've made my peace long ago. My daughters would be beautiful, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Artyom will definitely raise a glass. Yeah, to the ones left behind.
Hey.
So we sort of cut away the camera at this moment of remembrance, glasses clinking around together, remembering some folks left behind. We're gonna pan back upstairs to Kaushik, who is now sending a message to Lord Aelfred, and as this message attempts to cross the plane, it is a 5% chance that it fails. So I'm gonna say on a 5% or lower on the percentile dice, it does not go through. He goes through just fine.
Sick. So the message is going to say, Lord Aelfred, my companion has sustained an ailment. The Traveler constellation may play a role. Know anything significant about that? Question mark. Smiley face. Heart emoji.
Kaushik, dear, it has been so long. I do miss you. The place looks quite drab without you and your red cloak. However, I know not much about the traveler. They do say beware her gifts. They can come at quite the price. So, who knows? I don't. Toodaloo.
This man's so useful.
I love Lord Alfred. He's so fun. I am going to. Milo, he says he doesn't know much, but they say about the traveler, beware her gifts because they do come at a price. Is that what he said? Something like that. That's all he knows. That's all he
No.
can give me.
No mention about what the price is or who to talk to might know more.
He said he knows nothing other than what they say, which is beware her gifts, they come at a price.
And
I asked him about the constellation. I don't
in a moment
know.
of just like frustration and anger, he's just gonna yeet his mostly empty wine glass across the room.
Can I make a check to catch it so it doesn't smash against something?
Make a dex check. It's gonna be high.
What's Milo's strength score?
Doesn't matter.
10, I think.
He's
Like, how hard can he throw it?
No,
It
oh,
is a
shit,
dirty
13.
20.
This man's got a 13 strength.
Does a dirty 20, can I, or like at least not, maybe
Say,
not catch it, but like
you
kind of.
can like block his hand a little bit as you see him rear back to go and throw it. He's still really weak right now, so you see him rear back to throw it, and you kind of grab his hand.
Milo, don't worry, we're gonna figure it out. We will.
Kind of half-heartedly put the glass down on the table or whatever.
That was my last idea. I don't know who else to reach out to.
We might need to tell someone else. One person maybe.
Tell them what?
What's going on with you? What's happened? Crowley knows about magic. Maybe he might.
We don't know anything about Crowley. We know less about Crowley than you know about Lord Alfred.
All right, Milo.
He might know. Who?
He didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I
Okay.
said all right. I said all right, Milo. Because you're being a
Um,
road ass bitch right now.
God damn.
Understandably. Don't make me drain your life from your face. I'll do it.
Yeah, she fucking will.
Immediate solution to everything.
I can't hear anything. I'll pull out my earbud.
Well, put it back, forehead. We'll figure it out, Milo. We have to tell someone. There's.
Can I get a religion check from Kaushik?
Yeah, hold on. Religion check.
Mhm.
I get a +4. I'm a little bit religious. Nat 20 +4 for a dirty 24. Hold on. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Can
I'm gonna
you
have
see
to
it?
give me that dice.
What she didn't tell you is that dice is nothing but 20.
Yeah, it's just 20s on all
20,
sides.
20, 20, 20.
Unfortunately, this is the one that I rolled, I believe, 3 out of my 4 nat ones on the other day.
Kaushik, as you're sort of thinking about who you could go to, your mind starts going through. You were raised religious, in the Blood of Vol specifically, but this does come in with some context of knowing other religions and whatnot. The Blood of Vol is looked at warily by a lot of other nations, and to be completely honest, rightfully so. There are a lot of fanatics that stem from the Blood of Vol, and it is, it has its intertwining with the undead. There's a whole thing. So it would make sense that Kaushik would also know about other sort of frowned upon or outright illegal in some parts of the world religions, and just some of the more esoteric religions. And Kaushik would also know that if you could find someone with more knowledge on the Dark Six, which is sort of the opposite side of the coin of the Sovereign Host, that person's not going to be readily available. But if you can find someone in more of an occult area, like you're not going to find them in the middle of Moonwatch most likely, but people pay homage to the Dark Six, whether they're just like normal everyday people, just because of their pantheons and what they cover. Especially the Traveler, as seen much more of a neutral deity, if that's what you want it to be. Seen of a god of like chaos, or at least the concept of chaos and the concept of change. So if you think if you might find someone who is very well versed in the Dark Six, that they may be able to help you out with more information on the Traveler, at least. If that's what Milo's looking for, this is kind of what you guys need to keep an eye out for to get more information.
Okay. Is that something I can bring up to Milo?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Milo, do you know anything about the Dark Six?
Surface level, I guess. The names of them at most. I don't really. I've paid homage to few deities, but mostly it's focused on research. I don't own any texts or
I'm mind blanking on the term. Julian has like 6 of them. Little fucking totem thingies.
Julian again. Oh yeah, actually
Yeah,
Julian
yes,
this
I'm
time.
Julian,
yeah. I know.
Actually, Julian, you threw me off earlier.
Oh yeah, what
I
are
threw
those
myself off
called?
earlier.
Like
Yeah.
idols.
Yeah,
Idols, there you go.
like I don't have any like texts or idols. When in the middle of a hard project, I'd pray to a few, but not particularly religious. No.
But you know that the Traveler is part of the Dark Six.
But yeah, over in the Collegium in the
Maybe-
Artificer section, he's the one people talk to when they're real pissed off. You know, innovation and all that. Don't really know much about it other than that.
If we can find someone that has knowledge on this, maybe they can help us. I
Okay,
think it's
where
worth a look.
would we find that?
I don't know, but we can keep our ears to the ground as we travel.
If you see someone promising, I'd like it if you'd point them out to me. I don't exactly know what I'm looking for. And I'll bring it up with the others. I just need time to figure out how.
And he looks like almost desperate when he says that. And goes back to looking at his hand.
I think the best way would probably be just straight up telling them exactly what you've told me, Milo.
When I'm
Just-
ready, please.
All right. Before it gets too bad, though.
I'm still trying to keep track of all the details myself. It's what's important, what's not, how to say it, so all that. Like I said, at first I even thought it was a dream.
Right. Well, your secret's safe with me for now. If things get worse and I need to tell them, you know I'm going to.
If things get worse, I'll tell him myself. I'm only taking the time to contemplate it because we have the luxury to do so, it seems.
Right.
And when I'm
Not a mess, kind of gesturing at his red-rimmed eyes and shaky hands.
and discuss it more if you want, just not now, I don't think. But later, yeah.
I'm going to kind of offer the pickle basket out to him. See if he wants a pickle.
It's kind of like a distraught chuckle, like, you know, when you've been crying for a while and you kind of finally reach the end of it. It's kind of Thank you, Kashik. Takes a couple fried pickles.
Right, back out we go then.
Yeah. 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 All right.
We'll grab the bottle and
Your glove.
head on down.
I'm gonna point out your glove. You forgot your glove. Put the glove back on.
Oh, he already put it back on.
Okay, cool. Sick.
You guys make your way back down as a story that Melgrim is telling just finishes. He's got a little like spectral type puppet that's just hammering on his head over and over again. But yeah, you guys are back around the table once more. Gandalf, somewhat, anybody like that is paying any sort of attention, somewhat sweaty. He's jogged a small mile or two.
I will say I did like hurry on my way back at the very least. I was like, oh well, I already figured that shit out. So fucking walk.
Gotcha.
Gandalf went stinky.
Apparently.
That's pretty normal.
Anything fun happen at the observatory? Anything cool about the moons?
I saw 4 moons. One is a blood moon.
Milo
That
taking
sounds
his-
awful.
Milo taking his seat again, and Kaushik would know he's like trying to collect himself, but to the others he might just seem his usual scattered self.
Actually, yes. Remember in Flamekeep with Ragnar?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Very
Oh.
pertinent information right now, Gandalf.
Yes.
I took a bunch of
Is
star
that
charts that had markings
Mhm.
on them while we were there. Forgot about them. They seemed useless at the time. I wasn't able to get anything from it. But while we were there, I managed to link them up with star charts at the observatorium. And not only did we find out what they were for, but the observator, astronomer, whatever, the person that was there running the shindig said that there was unusual activity with those constellations. They were displaying an odd hue.
Really?
Yes.
What does that hue mean?
Crazy.
We don't know. We have more questions and not really much more in the way of answers, but at least we have another connection, something to maybe work towards or work on.
So what you mean to say is when you went to the observatory and you found a lot more questions.
Yes, but
Okay.
also at least a name. It was the constellation of the Traveler.
It sounds
Interesting.
very specific.
And
Yes.
that was
Oh,
the
no,
one that
I-
Ragnar was looking at?
Yes, these are the ones from Ragnar's study that he had marked.
And you said there were like odd markings on the back, correct? That I was not able to decipher, or
It's less odd markings, and it looks like searching, like he was looking for it. What
Okay.
you can kind of, your role on the original sort of investigation check, you couldn't really find much of a connection, but putting it together with the Traveler and stuff, and sort of looking at the star charts, it looks like he was looking for something specifically. And just a couple of circles around the constellation of the Travel, it looks like that is what he was looking for.
so he was looking for what we found.
Correct. It seems that way.
He may have even been using it to try and figure something out himself. Like he had questions. Maybe this was even what he was trying to pinpoint. I told the lady that we might be back tomorrow. We've got some things to think about, but at least it's another notch in our corner. Or it's a line drawn.
Yes.
Still no picture, but 2 dots connected.
I guess.
So,
We are
what-
also trying to hopefully be leaving sometime tomorrow-ish.
What are you supposed to be doing with the moon? Are you trying to say that like They only capture children during a blood moon or a traveler moon or whatever it was.
Well, cosmic figures and movements can have powerful effects on the material world. Who knows what kind of influence what he was looking for to either harness or achieve or manipulate.
It
Maybe.
happened to be like
What type-
particular.
Oh, Scotty, go ahead.
I was just gonna say with particular stars and moon alignments that may, I don't know, help rip out child souls.
This is not
Yeah,
my realm of
it's-
expertise. We need to go back tomorrow and talk to them with maybe a more structured approach.
Right, we should probably ask them, like, what the traveler means as far as doing magic.
Maybe have them look at the charts in these circles to see maybe what they were leading into.
Leading into.
What they were looking for. I mean, they were looking for something to do with this particular constellation, but to what end? What are the results? What are important astrological events related to all this? These are questions that they might have the answers to, or at least know who to direct us to.
Okay.
Sure.
I
can't-
don't really understand how them looking for constellations is supposed to help us track them, though. So I'm confused by that. I don't know if I don't understand or if I'm just really drunk.
Probably both. Something to do with, I mean, maybe there's a particular ritual they have to do, or maybe there's a type
Right,
of magic
I
empowered.
I get that part, but what do you mean them trying to find constellations? I mean, they don't go anywhere. They're there the whole time.
Looking for something in the constellation, maybe? We just need to look into it more.
Okay, sure.
Because I don't know the answer to your question.
Right. Okay.
Roll an intelligence check, Milo. Straight intelligence check.
At disadvantage.
Disadvantage because he's still exhausted.
Ooh.
Barely.
That'll be an 11.
11.
Nice.
I say it's not fairly hard. Constellations are not always visible. The revolution of Eberron and around the sun, like, constellations are not always visible, especially the same ones. So that assumption is wrong.
Fair enough. All right. Something might, change in what can be seen at one part of the year or another, or even several years. So, and she did say when I spoke to her, she said when I asked her on the chart, she said it's visible tonight. Maybe that means it's not usually. Again, more questions for her, not me.
Right. Oh shoot. Could they? Oh, they could be stealing children in this town tonight. It could be the blood moon for taking the children.
I doubt it. They
we
seem to be
know?
taking kids pretty regularly in New Kyrie.
Or there is a lot of moons. How many blood moons do you know about that?
I had
Okay.
never heard the term before.
Exactly.
I would
If we
actually like to
have-
retcon that real quick for Gandalwin.
Oh.
I would like to retcon that, or for Gandalwin and Kaushik.
Oh,
Being in the
there's a
blood of Vol.
pertinent. Okay.
Being in the blood of Vol, the blood moon holds very significant power in that religion. And it is something that is looked forward to, and rituals are held under the blood moon.
Something happens all the time.
But it's not something that happens all the time, but it does happen regularly.
What kind of
Like-
rituals, Jonesy?
But like, we talk like monthly, bi-monthly.
Depends. I mean, there's combination of moons that go blood red sometimes. With 12 moons, this happens, fairly regularly. You'll have probably at least one blood moon a year.
Okay, but not in so much a way of there are kids being stolen every night. There are not blood moons happening every night at any point in time.
Right. Yes.
Okay, there we go.
And as far as your question, as far as what kind of rituals, very much rites of the blood of all would be held. So something that would be very similar on the night that Kaushik took her right.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah, I don't. I don't know anything about this. That's why I'm asking Milo, because he generally knows these things. Okay, so a specific time that is so you're trying to tell me that the charts that you have line up exactly with the charts that were in the observatory, or the charts for what was going on tonight and you observed?
Both. She said that tonight was the night to be able to see that.
So there is some very important significance about tonight then, or maybe the next couple of days.
Yeah, some significance to the constellation.
She was confused by the color.
Yeah, it was kind of like a light purpley color.
What color is it supposed to be?
Not purple? Star colored? I don't know. Again,
Like
questions for
stars.
her. I'm not an astronomer. I'm an engineer.
Well, let's go ask her the questions. What happened to her?
Are they even still open?
I'm sure she lives somewhere around here.
I don't think it's fair to her to bother her in the middle of the night. It's almost midnight. Artyom.
I'm sorry, I thought trying to save children was more important than some people's beauty sleep.
Right, but
Excuse me.
I think we've had a little too much to drink tonight.
Yeah, I've had a lot too much to drink, but I mean, I can still hobble over to a door and bang on it for some lady to get up and tell me about moons.
It's best to approach when people are more amicable to being woken up, as opposed to spending the night in jail, which will serve no one, Artyom.
Also, a constellation isn't a moon. Shucks.
Well, you're talking about blood moons and constellations. There are dots in the sky. Fuck off.
Also, have we seen any evidence of anything else having to pertain to moons or constellations anywhere else that where children are going missing? Just
I think other
throw
than
that out there.
other than the charts that Milo took, probably not really. But I haven't been with Elle the whole time, so I don't know.
Just like, does anybody recall like anything having to do with constellations and shit? Anywhere else? Nope. Maybe.
I read about some stuff for the navigation tools we get back and forth.
I meant having to do like with the people in New Kyrie or anything.
No.
There's a quiz. Do you know something?
No. That I'm thinking. Now it is like coin flip. It might not have anything to do with the child stealing at all. There might be something separate.
Consulting with the drone to try and pinpoint dates for the nights that we had activity.
Mhm.
Does it seem like there's any correlation? Like trying to write it out, like any pattern, like every 3 weeks or every 4 weeks or something like that?
Well, let me make sure I understand your question. Are you trying to relate the stars or the blood moon to children going missing? Is that what I'm understanding?
So step one,
Mhm.
try and get approximate dates for the days that we had activity, like particularly because that one was easy to pinpoint, the shenanigans with the circus.
Define activity.
Yeah, define activity for me.
Yeah, I would say, like, first of all, the one with the circus, because that's a very clearly defined one.
Right.
And then with the time that I got picked up in like the first couple episodes, those are the two clearest ones.
Right. I mean, it's not even going to require a check. It's been just a couple of months, maybe, or a month and a half since you've been picked up from this group and you've gone through all this stuff. There hasn't been enough time to really sort of direct any sort of pattern that's relating to anything astronomy wise. As far as the things that you can piece together, it doesn't seem to be related, just because of the sheer volume of children that you know is going missing, and you know that would cause for a like constant thing happening. Something would constantly have to be happening, but it doesn't seem to be related.
Okay.
I don't know a pattern off the top of my head. It doesn't seem like there's anything, but
I would say I'm just with what we know in mind. I don't think we should completely dismiss it, but I don't think it might not be as immediately relevant as we are hoping.
It was relevant to Ragnar, and he was
Right.
a
Right.
lieutenant? Whatever,
I mean, what-
for them.
What else would it have been? I
I
mean,
don't-
he was one of the people going around and collecting up the children and stuff. So obviously, it probably meant something to that whole organization. Maybe those were the dates that he could have summoned a demon, or around those constellations, or something like that. If he had to do a ritual to summon a devil, demon guy.
That I have no idea. I don't know anything about
Just
that.
because that this organization is participating in the kidnapping doesn't mean that that's the only thing that they're doing. They can have more than one nefarious act.
Right.
They
Sure.
could. But at the same
Uh,
time, we also can't spend too much time in any one place on something that may or may not help.
Well,
If we can find out more things as we go, fantastic.
at the very least, I think we should consult the lady at the observatorium tomorrow.
Why didn't
see-
you ask her tonight? Out of curiosity.
I was a little scattered. We're sitting here and having an organized conversation about it.
Why are you more scattered than now? What's the difference?
What do you mean, what's the difference? You get some
Yeah.
information like that,
Y'all were there for a while.
and we talked about it at the time.
Milo was
I'm
drinking.
confused.
It's what it
Yeah.
was.
I squint at Milo.
He was drinking. I had to finish a couple of his drinks.
She did excuse herself after she looked at the moons with me, so she wasn't there the whole time.
Oh, wait. Did she like?
Like,
Did it seem
because of
alarming to
that?
her?
I'm not entirely sure. She seemed confused about the blood moon, and then she excused herself.
She
I don't
said
know.
that
that sounds kind of
Yeah,
like
that
she
makes-
was worried.
I mean, she's a busy lady. She might just have had.
But like
I
right
kinda
after
feel
seeing the
like-
blood moon, she was like, "I gotta go. Goodbye."
I kind of feel like she was in the middle of doing like her most important job, you know? If she just like left in the middle of like the prime event of her being the lady who does that stuff, it's
she said that that color was unusual. I was a little wrapped up in the moment. I didn't pay attention to her as much as I could have. I was very excited. It was an unexpected discovery.
sure.
All right.
Yeah, she seemed
sorry.
concerned about the color of this constellation and the moon.
Well, I mean, I don't see why we can't ask her a couple of questions before, hopefully, the airship gets here before we leave tomorrow.
Yeah, we should head over there tonight and do it.
Oh, Tim, it's almost
what time is
midnight.
it?
It's like midnight or later.
Like like deep in the middle of the night.
Yes.
It's
You can
pretty
wake
late.
people up. And after saying that in a bout of giant irony, Artyom's just gonna pass out. Just pass right the fuck out.
Oh,
Good.
That seems to
Just
decide that.
propped up. Yep.
So,
Just give him a couple pokes. If he doesn't respond at all, be like,
We can
I'm
blame
not
Artyom
carrying
for
him.
not visiting. We'll just say we tried to go. Artyom fell asleep. Easy. Are we all
let's
agreed?
get-
On a
Sure.
on kind of
Aye.
a whim, Milo will. You know, the Kestrel's still on 24/7 watch over that coffin, but the drone he's gonna send back over to the observatory to see if there's any activity there at all.
Make a quick perception check for me.
A 16.
16. With a 16, you see several of the waiters and waitresses locking up the doors for the night. And Kestrel sort of goes and lands on a post near the observatory as they're sort of locking up the front doors with the keys, and you see quite a few of them sort of just like jackets off. You know that after shift feel of being in customer service, so that they're just taking off their stuff and talking amongst themselves. This is what did happen to Zipporah? She kind of disappeared earlier in the night. Yeah, I don't know. She rarely does that though, so probably someone go check on her tomorrow. You go check on her. Doesn't pay us enough. I'm fine. I'll go check on her. And sort of just fizzles out conversation as they walk down the hill back towards the city.
I'll have the drone buzz up to the actual like place with all the telescopes and see if there's anyone up there.
Okay.
And in general, just snoop through the observatory, see if it sees anything.
It's just quiet shell of what it was just a few hours ago.
When the drone's back close enough to report its findings, look over to Kaushik and
the lady, I don't remember her name, something. The workers are saying that she just left completely after we told her that.
So that might be a problem then.
Maybe Artyom is righter than he thought.
look over at his passed out form sitting in a chair. Give a little bit of a shake.
Okay.
Shit. Whoops. Good.
Just making a big old mess over there. Knock his drink over.
Should we investigate it all tonight? They're gonna go check on her tomorrow, they said.
Maybe we should. Maybe not bother her if that's quite possible, but just check and make sure she's all right.
Let's see if anyone actually.
How big is this town or city?
You got maybe 7-8 dozen houses, residential.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
Mr.
Do they have like a person going around waiting the tables, or is everyone having to go up to the bar?
Yeah, old barkeep's kind of like taking care, and then someone's like running back and forth from the kitchen. So
Okay. Try and wave down one of the people.
Yeah.
Pardon me. I have a question.
Like kind of sit, gesturing at the walker.
Do you know that lovely lady that seems to run the observatory stays?
Yeah, Dinsmore. Yeah. She's close to the edge of the city, close to the observatory, probably one of the closer houses to it. Little small place.
Is there an address? I had told her we had further questions for tomorrow.
You won't need an address. You'll see a smaller telescope sticking out of the back windows.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
And immediately gonna direct the drone to start looking for that.
Sure. It'll take a couple of minutes, but it'll get there. Everybody's just sort of sitting and waiting around for this to happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's asleep.
Okay. Couple of minutes buzzing around on the outside of town, or on the outer edge of the town closer to the observatory. Say your drone finds it without issue. Couple of telescopes sitting out of a window, and then out of a higher window, like almost like a bubbled ceiling in one part, like it was built custom for that reason.
Gonna go take a peek around back.
Yeah.
Like, towards where the telescopes are. I'm assuming there's a glass to see through. See if we can see in the house at all.
Yeah. Does your drone have dark vision?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Go ahead
wait,
and
let me make sure I'm not lying to you real quick. Yes, it does. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and
Test.
make a perception check for me.
That would be a 14.
14.
Getting lower.
Your drone kind of like scutters over a couple of the windows looking in, a couple of the windows with the telescopes looking out. There's not much going on in the house, and all the lights look like they've been turned off. So if someone is in here asleep.
Is there a chimney?
There is not.
It's time to bash that fucking window open, buddy.
Do a quick circle of the house, see if any of the windows lead to a bedroom. Like peek through the shutters or whatever. Just trying to identify, see if someone's home and asleep. That's all we're trying to figure out right now.
Yeah. With a 14, just kind of keeping your general perception. Although the curtains, with the exception of the windows that are have some telescopes sticking out of them, which look like they're in some sort of like small library. Library is a strong word for it, but the other, like the walls on the opposite side are just covered in books and whatnot. Some star charts and whatnot on the walls. All the other rooms have like curtains that are pulled too.
Last ditch attempt, going to ding dong doorbell ditch. Get the drone to kind of tack 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 on the front door, and then if he hears movement, gonna kind of buzz away.
Okay.
Damn kids.
Yeah, with just a few moments of your drone doing a loud tapping on the door flies away. You hear some footsteps come to the door. Small candlelight coming, just like peeking around. You see just a tired looking elf just sort of like swinging her hair back and forth, looking outside. Shakes her head, blinks her eyes a couple of times, locks the door.
It was the correct person though.
Looked like it.
Well, she's home and
Presumably didn't look distressed at all, other than curious about the random knocking.
Mm-hmm.
and she doesn't seem perturbed. So probably no emergency tonight, I don't think.
Still looks uncertain. Uncertain and unnerved about
Just
this
kinda
whole
like
situation.
in the process of trying to like balance a fried pickle just on the edge of Artyom's mouth, so it like is hanging there like a cigar.
Okay.
Like
Make a dex check for me.
Oh my god.
just straight necks.
Just straight dex.
17.
Take some doing with the breathing and whatnot that's coming from Artyom, but you get it to balance on there.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I'm just gonna like
Is there
Well,
anything else anybody would like to do for tonight?
yeah, say we just ask in the morning. Should be fine. We're gonna need to be early anyway, cause if I recall, Nilbo should be getting here either like late tonight or early tomorrow. It sounds about right to you, Koshik, since you spoke to him.
Right, so whenever I spoke to him, he said a day or a day and a half.
Yeah, so he should, since he doesn't seem that he's here already, should be sometime tomorrow morning. Then we can speak to this observatory lady and then go about our business. We get to the Shadow Marches as quick as possible. All right.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, does Artyom have a room?
Our team has a room. Eric's got everybody a
Does
room.
he? Okay. I knew he slept outside. Okay.
Gandalf, do you want to help carry him up to his room?
I was just looking down at my arms like
Koshik
Oh,
and
it's
Gandalf.
not there.
I am a small dude.
To be fair,
Um,
Artyom's a lot lighter these days, so
As the four of you are sort of having this conversation against the front window of the inn, you see forehead pressed against the window, mouth slightly glowing, and Bill is just like against the window and says, "Yeah, bring him here." Bring-
Come in.
All right, friend. Then I guess,
Pick up Artyom like a rug.
yeah.
Just carry him out there.
Okay.
Well, when they pick him up, the reason I was trying to get Gandalin away is because I wanted to talk to him. So I'm just gonna lean over to him and kind of quietly ask him,
Yep.
what happened with Madison?
Oh, she just wandered off being angsty and teenaged. She just didn't want to go to the observatory, I imagine.
Can I roll an insight check?
Sure. You're definitely gonna beat me.
Need a deception check from you, Gandalin.
Yep.
I don't know if I am. I rolled a 7. Let me see what I
I
add
have
to
a
it.
plus
9.
1.
so-
Yeah.
So 16.
11.
Oh,
Yep.
so close.
Oh yeah. Yep. Keep drinking my drink. Like, yep. She is just being the weirdo.
He is correct about. He is telling the truth about her being a weirdo.
I know, I'm like, get off the track.
But he is definitely holding something else back.
Gandalin, she like sprinted away. That doesn't feel like she just didn't want to go to the observatory.
I mean, you never just really felt the need to go for like a late night run. It was probably something like that.
Did you end up catching up with her?
Long enough for her to tell me to fuck off. That's not a lie.
And does
Technically
track as
speaking.
well.
Yep.
I'm gonna accept his answer, but I'm gonna side-eye him.
I'm just gonna not make eye contact the whole time. It's like, yeah.
You know I don't believe you, right?
Yeah, whatever. Crunches fried pickle. These pickles are really good. They should like export these maybe.
They are.
Try
They're
to sell
wonderful.
the recipe.
She come back.
Hmm?
She come back with you.
Nope.
Right, I'm gonna go look for her then.
Okay. Sure.
Please don't let me ask him all today. Alright.
I don't think you can find her, so I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I'm not gonna go look for her. I was just testing him. Alright. You win this round. Now get up and go to my
I have no idea what you mean. I'm gonna finish my drink. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go to bed. And
Gandalf said stitches get stitches.
Are the rooms upstairs?
They are.
Okay. Milo, do you need help to your room?
Please, yes.
Alright, I'm gonna help Milo up.
Bill directs Melgrim and Gorham to a pile of dirt and mud, and he's stumbling himself. He waddles up to this. He says, right here. He's just like staring at the puddle, shaking his head. Don't worry. As soon as you do it, just run. I got this.
Okay. Did you have a good time, Bill?
One of the waiters really liked me.
Splash.
Splash.
y'all are ruining the pickle.
The pickle's been ruined.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, flop in the ground.
I just want to say I'm not throwing him in the mud.
Okay.
half
So,
in the mud.
Half of me's thrown in the mud.
Gorham, high, low.
Hi.
Okay. On a high roll, you get to choose which side of him you're holding. Feet or hands. It's a natural 6, unfortunately. Melgrim tosses RTM, you holding on to his boots and feet, and RTM back and shoulders right into a pile of mud. Gorham, you're
My
correct.
ancestors, Melgrim, what are you doing?
Oh,
Hey.
you'll get a kick out of this.
Now you
Come
run.
on.
You run now. Now you run.
No, Melgrim, you're staying right here.
I'm going inside, brother.
Y'all are really bad at this. Ha ha! I got you.
It's gonna half wake up and like, yeah, go inside, and then just sort of turn into the puddle and fill it with some pickle chunks. I guess glowing pickle chunks.
Yeah.
Oh no. Disgusting.
Bill just like gets down into the mud with you.
Like, dude, there's a bunch of puke right there. You just go on the other side. Yeah.
Crowley's going to his bed.
Crowley
Or
goes.
just shakes his head and goes back
See?
to in, I guess.
RTM loves that shit. Don't
You
know
love
why.
that shit. Shut up.
Just like the swamp. Can't tell the difference.
Yeah, I'll go to bed. I guess I don't know if you brought the staff with me. If there's just a passed out dude in the alleyway holding the fucking flaming staff, or anything, or what's going on.
Say it's on your person, strapped to your back
Partially
or something like that.
submerged into the mud.
Probably.
Ugh.
Providing a nightlight for Bill and Artium as they drift off to sleep. Is there anything anybody else would like to accomplish for the night? No?
I would go to bed. He had a long day.
Okay.
Just gonna pray that I don't hear anybody getting mauled by a werewolf in the night.
Very
I
well.
tried.
You all go up and lay in your respective beds, drifting off for the evening. Gandalin.
Oh fuck. I don't have any magic shit. Okay.
You crawl into your bed and you start to doze off. You hear a familiar voice to sort of tickle the back of your mind a little bit. You're the voice of your father.
Oh no. Oh fuck.
You hear him say, "Ken, get your stinky ass out of the bed and wash up." And jolts you awake from as you're just slowly starting to drift off. And it brings somewhat of a smile to your face, just remembering simple things like that. The real simple and small moments. So you get up and you go over to the washing basin. Go ahead and start cleaning up, whatnot, washing your face, looking back down at your reflection. And then you look past your reflection. And you see something down in there. It's a familiar form. You see just a drift in the wash basin, like they're just floating in water. You see Mirik just floating there, like in a gentle tide back and forth. His dead gray eyes just staring off into space. Stare at it for a moment. As you do, the eyes looking up at you through the water basin, just sort of looking back from it, staring at you for a moment. You were supposed to save me. Your hands on either side of the wash basin, a hand comes out and wraps around your wrist. And you see Mirik jerking up through the wash basin, lifting himself up. I looked up to you. Other hand grappled on the other side of the wash basin as he starts to pull himself up out of it. Sort of dead gray skin, now eyes that are just devoid of life. I was scared and you let me down. and he starts crawling out of the wash basin. Do anything?
Currently, no. I am just frozen in the spot.
Eric wrenches your hands off the wash basin and pulls you in. Underwater. Now, sort of dark space, just the light above you from whatever room you were in. Merrick has you by either hands, just pulling you and dragging you down into whatever this abyss might be. You were supposed to save me, but you let me die. The same way you let your parents die. The same way you're gonna let them die. It's getting harder to breathe. Try to fill your lungs. The water starts coming into your lungs now.
I guess I'm gonna try to struggle free of his grasp.
Make an acrobatics check for me.
It's a 21.
You rip your hands from either side of Merrick, start swimming up. Grab the side of the basin. Go ahead.
Prior to swimming up, as little good as it's gonna do, I am gonna try to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I tried before trying to get back to air.
You say, I tried. Hand grabs your boot. You struggle, grab on to the rink of the basin and try to pull yourself back up. Try to pull yourself up out. And you're just ripped back into the darkness. You hear just an echoing voice one last time as your lungs burn and your vision starts to fade to dark. Not hard enough. It's the last thing you see and hear. Gorham.
Hmm?
As you close your eyes and donning your armor, slowly drifting off to sleep, I'm gonna completely lose my place in my notes.
Hell yeah.
You start to drift off. And after a few moments, or what seems like a few moments, you hear the sound of your footsteps, your own footsteps. The clink of your plate, sound of your boots echoing. As you walk up, you are surrounded by a tribunal of dwarves. You hear a voice. These sort of ancestral dwarves that surround you on almost all sides, countless. A tribunal of ancestors. Dwarves of times past, and indeed, the very dwarves and ancestors that granted the powers that you have. This sort of booming voice speaks out from a center dwarf. What say you, grudge bearer? What has come between you and your quarry?
We are on the path. We have our destination. We need only go there.
So you are on the way then. Right now.
Soon. Soon we will be.
What stands in the way, grudge bearer?
The plane of Zoriat will open within a year. We and my companions wish to stop it. We have one stop to make before we continue the hunt for the quarry.
And this threat affects you and your own and other dwarves.
It will affect the entire world, to my understanding.
Gorham, I'd like you to make a persuasion check for me.
That is a 27.
Jesus Christ.
Will you get the DM to laugh?
Ridiculous rolls.
The 19
that's
plus 8, my boy.
A billion. That's a natural billion. All right.
Natty Bills.
Stoic still. Faces. One turns to the other. Looks to the other. Nods.
And so be it. Judge these mad ones with the fueled fury of vengeance that we have bestowed upon ye. Hammer them down and spare not one. But you are not relieved of your duties of grudge bearer. Those in the book and those that trespass against the world we've forged must be brought to justice. Go forth. Our might stands behind ye.
It will be done, honored ancestors. And then Gorm's gonna bow and turn around and walk back out.
Boots clinking once more, echoing of the steps. Fade out. Sleep through the rest of the night. And that is where we will end tonight's session. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And so we got to follow and some other stuff. Thank you for that. Hopefully you enjoyed today's session. I know I did. Thank you. We're going to get a raid going on in just a few minutes. But before we do, some more announcements and what have you. Remember that we are raising money for Extra Life. Bars right down there. We're at 1326 out of 3,500. Help us raise some money for some sick kids, especially in these times. Other than that, that is all I got. We stream every Monday and Saturday. Monday, we have Ghosts of Saltmarsh, DM by this guy right over here. Woo! Our very own Ganwin. And a couple of us playing that campaign. And then on Saturdays, you can find us right here streaming across Eberron. So go check us out. Go drop us a follow on Twitter to get notified when we go live. And that will be it, I think. We're going to raid good old TBK Roleplay because those guys are awesome.